what they say.
This is the Big O Show.
Good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. It is time to rock and roll here on the show. We are ready to have a little fun over the next couple of hours. We will take you till 3. Today's one of those shows that we got a whole bunch of things going on. At noon, we've got Tua along with Saban announcing his decision. And obviously this whole season, there were many out there that were, thinking about tanking for Tua and those kind of things. And there was never any tanking going on. Only some of the, clueless media were thinking that there was some tanking going on when there was no tanking whatsoever. But now we're going to find out, what's he going to do? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? One of the things that we've talked about in the last couple of weeks is that he could have a little Peyton Manning in him, right? Peyton, we talked about this on the show, that he decided to stay too. And, it was one of those things that we were freaking out back in the day. And I think we'll do the same thing here, because it really only makes sense to leave right now and go, because you've been very injury prone. That's the thing about him. I mean, that's what scares me. This is why I won't take him at number 5. I know a lot of you out there that if he's there at 5, take him, all that stuff. But we're gonna find out what this young man's all about. It's interesting that he's holding the press conference with Saban. Some have speculated that because Saban's there, that it means that he's going to stay. I don't know yet. That's one that I think it could go either way. Saban can be there remember, this is great PR for Saban. He's there with Tua in a tough time. He was there with him through the injury. There's, all kinds of stuff that he would go to the hospital all the time to check in on him. Saban told the story that he would call to check in on him, and that he was kind of down about, having to call Tua and checking in on him. And that by the end of the conversation, Tua had inspired him and had motivated him, because he's that kind of dude. That's it. It's if you were looking at a person that was selfish and self-centered, the easy guess would be, oh, he's leaving, dude. But because you have, even though we don't really know him that well, but there's a certain level of expectation, respect that you have for Tua because of the way he's carried himself. And the kid carries himself in a first-class fashion, man. And you're not going to be shocked by his decision to stay. You'll be shocked about the decision, but not the human being choosing to stay one more year, because you would say a Tua, a Tim Tebow, a Russell Wilson, a Peyton Manning, a Tony Gwynn, a Cal Ripken. You know what I'm talking about now, right? I kind of got the whole spectrum of the characters. Exceptional characters. You never know with these guys, because they do the things that most of us would not do, okay? Because I will tell you honestly, selfishly, I'm gone, dude. I'm gone. I know they're using me as much as they can, and I'm going to use them as much as they can. We've reached our point. From here on out, you benefit more than I do. I'm out of here. Let me go get a check. So that's where I would tell you that this is one that you've got to watch out, because you just don't know. You really don't. So we'll find out. Soon enough, we'll find out what's going on and what is the next stage. We will carry the press conference for you at noon. Not only are we going to carry the press conference for you at noon, and then after we'll have our reaction to that press conference. So that'll be good, that we'll be able to find out finally, get a little closure, and then we can move on. And we'll talk about whatever that decision is and how it affects the Dolphins. We'll do that in the 12 o'clock hour, so we'll get to that. At 1 o'clock, Jason Turner, we couldn't catch up with him on Friday. Well, Bill tracked him down this time and said, dude, we need you here. We got to talk a little, Jordan Love. And so we'll talk about our NFL draft focus today. We'll move over to Utah State and we will talk Jordan Love here on the program. David Wilson from the Miami Herald. He's like the jack of all trades at the Herald. He covers everything, Canes and Dolphins and Heat. And, last night he was at the Heat game and he covered Whiteside. So we'll have a little fun with the whole Whiteside situation and David Wilson at 2 o'clock. 2:30, Andy Behrens, a little fantasy basketball we do at 2:30 here on the program. So we have got an absolutely loaded freaking show today. All right, we got a ton of things to talk about already on the program. First of all, let's start off with the Seattle and Eagles game, which is the one that brings a big-time controversy because of the Kyle Rudolph play at the end of that game. There are, several layers to this, but in the end, the ultimate problem is that your commissioner is not consistent with anything that he does when he is putting forth discipline. And the NFL is also not consistent when it comes to its refereeing and its decisions that are made out there on the field. And I got to tell you, the NFL is reflecting a lot like the NBA. The NBA has the worst referees in all of pro sports, okay? You're not going to convince me of anything different. Soccer is a very close second, all right? You watch enough soccer matches, whether it's nationally or internationally, whatever, you can say soccer referees are pretty dirty too. Not that they're like dirty, sold. It's just bad. That's what I mean. And football is, man, it's getting there. It's getting there. Wow. It is bad. It is inconsistent. It's just disgusting. And yesterday, look, both guys had hands on each other, but Kyle was the guy that had at the final part when the ball was coming his way. He's the guy that used leverage and pushed off the defender in order to get that football. Okay? And like I said, several layers to all of this, right? I'm sorry, Viking Saints. Why am I going Kyle Rudolph? I'm saying Seattle Eagles. Viking Saints. And there's several layers because you have the Kirk Cousins effect to all of this, right? And you're happy for Kirk Cousins because this is one of those moments that he needed in a big-time way. He needed big time. Whoa. Oh, that sounds pretty ugly, huh?
That's a killer in the crowd. Hey, that's how we've won all year, team, right? Hey, you hold them to 20 points, man. You gave us a chance at the end. I got 3 words for you. You like that?
All right, that sounds really, really bad, and that's probably my fault there. But it's one of those moments where he needed that for a week, right? Because they're paying him $90 million guaranteed. He's getting paid to go a lot farther. That team is set to be a Super Bowl caliber type team, and so personally, Kirk needed that moment, needed that throw, needed that completion. But the problem is it becomes a little stained because clearly Kyle Rudolph pushed off, and then the fact that if you weren't reviewing these things, then we can just move on and just call it a day because there was no foul called. We move on. The referees missed it. But you have opened Pandora's box where you are reviewing this stuff. And if you are reviewing this stuff, then, let's do a better job here overall. Let's be more consistent about what we have to do. And these teams, man, and these coaches, they work so hard to get to this point. You can't have a referee decide the outcome. I mean, it's unfair. At every level, it's unfair. And that's why I say that, here's where the game gets stained, and here's where the moment gets stained. And again, I get it. You know, if you're a Saints fan, you're going to be pretty bitter about this because of what happened last year. What happened last year was way more blatant than this one. Okay? This stuff is bang, bang, and we didn't really see the push-off right when the play happened. It was after the replay that you notice it because, again, you're not going to catch everything with the naked eye. It's normal to miss a lot of this stuff. You're going to miss it, I'm going to miss it. But then here comes the replay, and you see it, and now you say, whoa, wait a minute. And you and I know, for those of us that are Dolphins fans, if that was the Dolphins in the Saints row, I'd be pissed this morning. I'd be incredibly pissed because they missed the call. And that to me would be, a real problem. Not that we could do anything about it, except the NFL would send a letter out to the team and say, oh, we're sorry. We screwed up. Sorry doesn't help you there, man. And if you're going to be consistent about this, and if you're going to review plays, then review this one, man. And give it the respect it deserves. You just ran off the field and you didn't even check. That team worked hard as hell to get there. And I got to tell you, Rex Ryan on Get Up, I thought he had a really, really interesting point when he talked about it. Can you check the cable or something there? Because that's kind of weird that it would be that sounding like so odd. All right, try it again now. Let's see. It's kind of odd. Wow, that's bad.
Does make a mistake because right there, you got to, after the guy catches the football, you got to be going berserk. I mean, that's what you should have done. Selling it. He's got to sell it like crazy. Why? I mean, it happened. Don't just say, oh, well, and then give it one of these. Oh, no, you've got to go absolutely berserk in this situation. That would have made our guy, Alberto Riveron, sit back and say, uh-oh.
All right, I don't know what it is, but it sounds terrible. But what Rex was saying, I don't know if you can understand it in that garble, but what Rex was saying is that the DB also has to sell it, that you got pushed off, act like when he pushes off on you, sell it because you're already out of the play. And I got to tell you, Rex is 1,000% right about that. It's a great point that he made on Get Up this morning. When I was watching, I go, you know what? That's actually true. Would have helped if the DB would have sold it a little bit. But nothing. There was no sell job. And on the flip side, while I feel terrible for the Saints and their fans, and the fact that you didn't end up, reviewing this whole thing, and especially it compounds the whole thing because of what happened last year. And last year's was incredibly blatant. It was disgusting. This is something that you normally would not be reviewing. But because you have now opened a Pandora's box and you are now reviewing these kind of things, and you're reviewing everything inside 2 minutes, and you're reviewing all the scores and all that stuff, this falls under those categories. Why didn't you do it? That's the part I don't get. Why didn't you do it? And so that's where I would tell you that, for me, that I thought that would be the issue already at this point, that, okay, this is what's going to stand out from all of this, is that there's no consistency in anything that the NFL does. And then it leaves you frustrated. And by the way, your team, whatever it is that you're watching, if you're a Dolphins or a Steelers or a Jets fan or a Niners fan or whatever it is, the scary part is that our teams are going to end up in that situation at one point or another, and we don't know what's going to happen because the NFL has no consistency about any of this. That's crazy. Ray says, if he was going back there, would be no need for a press conference? Not true. Not true. He could explain why he's coming back now. Because if you just say coming back, the next question is why. and there's no football being played. You have no access to them. So Tua is one of those dudes that he's going to come out, and if he is going to come back, he'll tell you why also. You know, did you know that his entire family moved to Tuscaloosa? They all live there. Maybe, I'm telling you, you just never know with these kind of cats. You're talking, Ray Martinez, you're talking like you and me would talk. Because I would be gone. Done. I'm not going to be a phony. I'm not going to tell, I would want the college life too. Get the hell out of here. I want the money. Get me the money, bro. Okay? I'm not suffering another injury without a check in my hand. Okay, and another insurance policy or something along those lines, which I know he's going to take out an insurance. If he does come back, which I think he already probably has a Lloyd's of London type of insurance policy. Let me check out what we got on the text machine here, on the YouTube text machine. Rich V is chiming in with a little good morning. George also, NorCal, great job picking Tennessee, Bill. Tannehill is garbage, though. Yeah. Hey, he made 2 good passes, man. That's it. He was beautiful handing off. Keyshawn Johnson stayed in school. Simeon Rice stayed in school, and hope Tua stays in school to stop all the Miami talk. Flipside Fishing, it's Tua Day. All Tua's best receivers are entering the draft. Why would he come back? Well, he wouldn't play next year. He would play till like late in the year. He's probably not even going to start the season. Oh, and by the way, do you not think another McDonald's what are they called? What are they called, Bill, in football? They're not called McDonald's All-Americans. What are they called? Whatever. High school. Don't you think another high school All-American is taking over for Judy? Right? Come on, man. It's Alabama. They'll reel in 3 more studs.
He'll be competing with his brother, won't he?
Yeah, that's right. Are. Yeah. Ian from Brooklyn is saying, what's up? A.B. Barrios, no Tua. Hopefully he stays. Let's not waste a pick on an injured QB. Big O, what would Tua benefit from staying in school? Just healing up the college life, experience, improving his draft stock, I guess, to become the 2nd pick in the draft right behind Lawrence instead of number 5 or 6. Or 7 or 10 or 15. I don't know. I have a real hard time, okay, explaining to anybody the positives because I'm not the guy. I'm the guy that would have left. I don't really see a positive. But in his eyes, he might see it as a positive. I don't know. Maybe the kid wants to graduate. Maybe I have no idea. You know, he's wired differently maybe. We'll see. Durability, definitely a major concern. Yeah, of course, man. 4 operations in 2 years? Hell yeah, man. Let's see. Tua can benefit by staying because we all know Burrow going first. Next year, Lawrence. He can benefit by being drafted in the later rounds by a team that can protect him better than, say, and then I don't know what he meant after that because they ran out. Mace is saying, Ty from the Bronx, good morning, Big O. Appreciate that, sir. What do you really think of McCarthy and the boys? I will get to McCarthy being head coach of the Dallas Cowboys soon. Dougie Fresh says, there's absolutely no reason Tua should stay at Alabama. If he enters the draft now, he will get paid, get to sit on the bench and learn, and have access to world-class medical care. Well, he has the world-class medical care now. Don't worry. He's got Dr. James Andrews, like, right in his backyard. He's there in Alabama. Don't that part is, I'm with you, he's got to leave, but he's not getting any better health care in the NFL than Alabama. Trust me. It's not happening, okay? Same kind of health care you're getting, same level right there. Facilities are same level, maybe better at Alabama than most NFL teams, okay? And medical, same thing. Same thing. I wish Tua the best, David says, and a speedy recovery, but dude is 1 NFL hit away from collateral damage. Freddie says, Fred Sled says, hey, Big O, big fan. May I ask, are you a Royko lover or a Yaka lover? What the hell is that? Are you guys tricking me into something? I don't know what the hell that is, bro. Did you make me say some porn or something? What'd you make me do there, bro? What did you do to me, Fred Sled? What did you trick me into doing? Right now, I have no idea what that means, Fred Sled. You're going to have to explain it to me. Okay? Rich V says, David, and yes, David, and it'd be a wasted pick and Finns would pay the bill. Jay Gelfand says, Tua should not be in the Dolphins' sight for first round. He's too fragile to waste a number one pick on. I am with you, Jay, but a desperate league does desperate things for a quarterback. So I would not be surprised if they do use one of their first-round picks on him. Man of 1,005 holds says he won't be playing whether he stays or gets drafted. Get your money. Miami Kid says, Big O, this might be a reach for the Dolphins, but I think Jordan Love is the guy. There you go. So lots of folks already chiming in on the YouTube chat board. You can also reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which is 786-322-1105. And we thank all of you for chiming in, watching, as always, and supporting the show. It means the world to me and Bill and John and everybody else that's putting a lot of work into this show every single day to put it all together. So got the Vikings and the Saints situation. Eagles and Seattle yesterday. Carson Wentz goes out after 8 plays, goes out with a head injury. Listen, he's got terrible luck, obviously. He can't stay healthy. It's a headshot, which you can't call that injury prone, but you can call this a guy that is unfortunate, okay? Clearly unfortunate. I mean, he has no luck whatsoever. It's a real shame. And you really wanted to see, I mean, it took the air out of the game right away, right? Once Wentz went down, it's like, okay, 40-year-old McCown's coming out. Come on, dude. Are we really expecting that? And Philly fought, and they hung in there, and hell, they drove down, and they were in position to try to make it a game here, and they just couldn't get it over the hump because you got a 40-year-old quarterback. I mean, when he did the option where he was running for his life to that sideline, and you know, that was like his longest run of the game because he did have, I wrote it down, how many, he had 23 yards rushing. And he had like 12 or 14 on that one run or whatever it was. But it was just one of those deals where right away you knew the game was over. And it was like, man, this sucks. Now we got to just whatever. I mean, it allowed me to focus more on the Heat. Selfishly, I got to say that because it's like I knew what was the result of that game already. It's like, okay, Seattle won this game. I mean, I'd pick Seattle anyways, but still, it was like, okay, this is a no-brainer at this point. And when it comes to the Clowney hit, I'm not going to – I don't think it was dirty. I think he was just trying to, you know, finish a play and tackle the guy, and that's what they do. They throw themselves on top of people, and it just happened to be where it hit the back of his head. But I don't think he was necessarily aiming for it. I think he just wanted to rock the body, and maybe the ball would come out. You never know. And you got to you're a runner at that point. This is what happens. It's football, man. It's football. That's why when people tell me, well, you know, the rules have changed. And, you know, it's easier for Lamar. They don't hit you. Well, get the hell out of here, bro. This is the NFL. They hit hard. And on any play, you could be over for the game, for your career. You could be crippled. Don't tell me that the rules have changed. I know they have, but they still hit hard as hell. They're still big and strong, and if they get a shot on your ass, they're going to take that shot, man. So that's why, for me, the Lamar Jackson thing is just, it's a clock. It's a bomb ticking. Tick, 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 tick. And all those people that are saying, well, the rules have changed for the quarterback. You don't really hit him like that anymore. Get the hell out of here. When they knock the hell out of Lamar, they're going to go, oh, well, all those people are talking about the rules and this and that and trying to, I'm one of the few that has steadfast stayed on this and said, quarterbacks running are not good in the NFL. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When we make it flag, then we can do that. But as long as it's called tackle football, somebody's going to crack Lamar Jackson in half at one point or another. It's just the way it is. And if you're a running quarterback, look, it's tough enough to be a quarterback. You're going to get pounded in the pocket. So you're also going to go start running and get pounded out in the open field. And by the way, I don't know, what do you think, Bill? What's worse, a collision on the move or a collision still? So if you're going 30 miles an hour,
tell you right now,
and the running backs and the other car is going 30 miles an hour, which collision is going to be worse? You standing and getting hit by 30 or 30 and 30?
No. In football, it's as simple as this. Play 12 years. If you're standing still, you're taking the full brunt. At least if you're moving toward that person, there's an extension of inertia back and forth.
But the collision's worse.
No.
Yeah, it is.
If you're hitting him, if you're running at him and you hit him, you're extending some power to him. And if you're standing still, you're taking the full load.
But if you're coming at 30, you're going to get hit. You're getting hit at 30, not at 0. So I think you're going to take it's going to be a bigger collision overall because there's more power on both ends.
It's
like in baseball. Okay, you can stick out your bat at a ball that's coming at 90 miles an hour and you'll pop it into the outfield. But you just swing just a little bit and you connect, that ball ends up in the third deck. Because now all of a sudden, the bat's not just standing still. Now you're swinging the bat. So the collision's going to be that much bigger, man.
Well, if you're moving faster than he is, you have the opportunity to just destroy them.
But you're destroying yourself too, bro. Nobody's getting away here, okay?
Nobody walks unscathed.
Nobody, bro. Everybody gets clobbered and killed in that game. And the quarterback's going to get clobbered and killed if he runs. So it's going to happen. And with Carson Wentz, he's injury prone. Yes. But he's also unfortunate because that's what I have to go with yesterday. It wasn't like he got injured, like he twisted his knee running around and an ankle or whatever. I mean, some dude popped him in the back of the head. It's not his fault. I mean, that's not injury prone, but he has no luck. And there is a little bit of luck that has to be involved, right, in all of this. You have to be a little bit of, what's that called? A blessed human being in order to avoid some of that stuff.
I'm a firm believer quarterbacks have an issue with getting hit because they don't take hits on a regular basis.
Of course.
They're not used to it. So when they do get hit, it is worse.
It's worse. It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, you saw RG3 when he got hit by a moving Haloti Ngata. It's not good, bro. It's not good. It's just not good. Yeah, it's scary stuff. And it's just a matter of time. And I feel for Carson Wentz because, Eagles fans are terrible. I mean, they are as brutal as they get. They must be killing him right now. That's the other thing. When I saw that he didn't come back, I was like, wow, this is not good for him. Because they already dislike him in a way. Because they think Foles is God. And it's like, dude, he's a backup that everything went his way for one day, one moment. Doesn't make him a great quarterback. Carson Wentz has all the potential to be a great. In fact, he has shown you some outstanding ability and to a level greatness over the last couple of weeks, making plays with absolutely nobody's around him. Okay? I mean, he's pulled some stuff that's pretty magical. He's a special talent. 786-322-1105 is the accidentlawfirm.com text line. If you want to get in on the program, that's 786-322-1105. 11:05 if you want to get in on the show as we take you till about 3. Remember, at the top of the hour, we're going to have Tua's press conference. So we will carry that, and hopefully we will get an answer on what's going on with Tua and his future, because obviously that is one that every Dolphin is hanging on to find out what is his future and where is Tua going, because I think we all, one way or another, we'd like to get a little closure here, because remember, now if he declares that he's coming back, this changes everything for the Dolphins now. You know what? Maybe it was changing everything before. Maybe the Dolphins weren't going to draft him anyway after this last injury. I don't know. We really don't know. But in our world, for us to talk about it, if he's saying he's coming back, now he's completely out of the mix. And even the people that want to draft him with the 5th overall pick or the 18th overall pick, injured, or I don't know what the 20-something is because Houston advanced, so we got to see what happens. But, yeah, we got to find out. We got to find out. And by the way, the show is proudly brought to you by Murias Dental. And, folks, come and get a free consultation for an implant or Invisalign. They are the implant and Invisalign experts. So get in there, start the year right with a healthy smile. Call Eric Murias and family there at Murias Dental. They use state-of-the-art equipment. 305-821-0231. I wouldn't tell you to go somewhere where I wouldn't do it myself, right? So trust me, call Murias Dental. Get those teeth straightened out. Get them whitened. Fix those cavities. Get that crown, root canal, whatever it is. You're going through pain, don't do it. Call Murias Dental, 305-821-0231, or visit them online at muriasdental.com.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used.
50% less.
A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Codsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Codsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Hey, folks, it's a big week, man, because we are on Sunday. Well, Thursday we'll be broadcasting from Toyota of Hollywood. So please come on by. Every Thursday now we're at Toyota of Hollywood. Every Friday, 9 to 11, we're at Craig's Inn Acura. And then in the afternoon from 1 to 4, we're at Hialeah Park. And speaking of Hialeah Park, Bill and I are going to be at Hialeah Park twice this week. We're going to be there on Friday for our normal show from 1 to 4. And then Sunday from 11 to 1, we're going to be out at Champions. And they're going to have the National Horse Players Championship qualifier coming to Hialeah Park. And they're going to be awarding $10,000, $5,000 to the grand prize winner in first place, which you also win a trip to, which includes hotel and airfare, to Las Vegas and a seat in the NHC in the finals in Las Vegas, February 7th through the 9th, this year, 2020. Or if you already have plans during February, you can push it back to next year, 2021. So if you want to find out more, go to HialeahPark.com. Go early, register, be there by 10 a.m. and register, and your chance, because if you're a pretty good horse player, hell, even if you get lucky. I mean, Bill and I are going to play it for the hell of it. You know, we'll try. Not that we know anything about it, although Bill thinks he knows something about horses. I told him really he only knows that they have 4 legs, but he just doesn't want to listen to me. But anyway, he will try, and lose. But he'll have fun losing. That's the beauty of, when you go to Hialeah Park, you'll plunge your guts out. And if you lose, you had a blast doing it. And if you win, oh, it's so good. So good to win. Friday, actually, we did win. We won a little bit there. We had a couple of winners. So it was fun. Anyway, if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. What do we got here? Let's see. And, folks, don't forget to give the show a thumbs up while you're watching. We need as much traffic as possible. Tell as many of your friends and family members to subscribe to the YouTube site. We need to get to 1,000 so we can give you better live coverage, okay? Starting up with the East-West and the Senior Bowl, which, by the way, when we're done at 1 o'clock, all right, Bill and myself will be taking off to St. Pete, and we're going to go out there for the East-West Shrine game. So we got to make a list, too, now of all the players we want to interview, because Jessica wants us to tell her what players we're going to interview out there at the East-West. We're going to have a ton of interviews for you guys at the East-West Shrine, man. And of course, the Senior Bowl, too. We're going to be at both team hotels, okay? We are going to have total control of what's going on. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to need to be right by your YouTube channel because it's not going to be that week, the next 2 weeks, not this week. This week will be normal. But next week and the week after, shows during that Monday through Wednesday are going to pop up and go away. We might be on for 10 minutes. We might be on for an hour, and then we're gone. And then we're back. And we'll do a lot throughout that week. I mean, a lot. We'll do a lot of stuff, but it might be on and off because we're not going to be on the entire time like what we do every day. That we do a 4-hour stretch of radio and we bring on guests and all kinds of stuff and give you all kinds of insight and things like that. So that is what we'll have for you over at the Senior Bowl and the East-West Shrine. So we're going to have a lot of people to talk to in those spots. Let's see. David says, Yaz would love if the Dolphins drafted Eason. Give this show a thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate that. Dolphins should go left tackle in the first round. They might. There's a couple that you can take right there at number 5 with no problem. What about Spearing? That was a dirty shot by Clowney. You can call it that, or you can call it a guy that was diving on top of another guy. You know, I don't know. I just have a hard time calling it like dirty, flat out dirty. Still a great season for Wentz and the Eagles. Wentz is definitely an elite franchise QB. I'm with you, but he may not be getting that kind of love in Philadelphia. Ty is asking me, what do you think of the Dolphins going with 2 O-linemen and Jordan Love in the first round? Ty, I get it. You want Jordan Love. I get it. And I have no problem with 2 offensive linemen. I'm not one of those guys that, oh, it's not sexy enough. I don't give a rat's ass about that, dude. I just want a great football team. And if there's something that I know, if you get a great offensive line, you can win a Super Bowl with Phil McConkey. Let me repeat that again, okay? You get a great offensive line and, hell, a tight end, and you can win a Super Bowl with Mark, I will write bad checks, Ingram, and Phil McConkey. You get a line and you can run the ball and a tight end, and Brandon Stokely can be your MVP. I want a line, okay? I want 5 hogs up front that are beating the crap out of people, that are keeping our quarterback nice and clean, that's opening up big-ass holes for the running back. I want an offensive line that is going to wear people down by the fourth quarter. Yes. Because, I mean, when they had good offensive lines, they were able to pass a lot in the 80s and early 90s. When they had a great offensive line, Greasy smoked cigars back there and found Paul Warfield 8 seconds later downfield. Okay? And when they had a great offensive line, they punished you with Zonka, Kick, and Morris. Because all we ever do 40 years later is talk about that offensive line. So at least for a guy that has perspective, a guy that's old, a guy that's been around and has seen all kinds of Dolphins teams, give me an offensive line. Okay? And the guy that tells you it's not sexy enough is a guy that doesn't understand football. Or a woman. Oh, I got to have a receiver. I got to have a defensive end. Whatever man or woman's telling you, defensive end, I don't mind, actually. I'm sorry about receiver or corner or whatever. It's got to be some kind of sexy athlete out there. No. Get me some fat guys up front that are nasty and want to take your head off. Okay? Get that. And even if you have an average quarterback, like Ryan Tannehill, you could actually advance and win some games. What a shocker. What a concept. Wow. Pretty awesome. So that's my answer to offensive linemen in the first round. Bring it on. Give any quarterback more time to find Devontae Parker. I'm in. Give any quarterback back there more time to find Mike Gesicki. I'm in. All we spent all year was, man, he can't go downfield because he doesn't have time. Well, let's get him some time. Get him some offensive linemen. Let's see. What else do we have? Rhett is going to have Miami's offense beast mode. Michael Mitchell Jr. is saying that. Are you sure? I don't know. What was the excitement over Dan Enos, dude? Right? Wasn't that the excitement over Dan Enos? Well, he coached Tua and Jalen Hurts. How'd that work out, bro? Yeah, let's I get it. You're a blind-ass fan, Michael, and you're just going to get excited about anything that the Canes do because whatever they do has got to be the right move, right? Exactly. Yeah. And we all thought that Manny Diaz was the right move, too, and we were wrong. Yo, Big O, how could they not review that push-off in the Saints-Vikings game? It's the NFL. It's run terrible, but they're Teflon, and they don't care, and it won't affect them. Rich says, greetings from Daytona Beach. We will see you soon. We will see you soon. We will be there for Rockville in Daytona. We'll be there for 3 days. Rockin'. Joe says, we need to just go best available regardless of position for every pick with the first 3 rounds. Amen, sir. I'm with you all the way. Emilio says, what up, boys? Please don't trade Dragic. I don't think they will because it would change the dynamics of the team off the bench. Who else do you have that's as consistent as he is off the bench and as potent? No, man. No, I don't think that'll happen. I think they will keep him. Good morning, Big O. They mentioned yesterday that the top 4 rushing teams this season made the playoffs. Yes, sir. I saw that. The top 4 passing teams didn't. I said it last year, and I'll say it again. Build the line. Hell yeah, man. Of course. Look at the Ravens. They're killing you with the run, man. We are getting so O-line during free agency, but I'd still draft one if he's best available. Why are you going to go draft? Why are you going to go free agency, Joe? Why do you want the Dolphins to go back to being stupid, Joe? Huh, Joe? What does free agency get you, Joe? I'm sorry. Did you learn a goddamn thing, Joe? Some of you Dolphin fans, I swear, are you permanently stupid? Right? You're just permanently stupid. It's just that 20 years of doing stupid things has you in your mind, just like Joe, hey, let's go spend money on free agency. What, like Josh Sitton, Joe? You want to do that? You Mark Colombo? I told you guys already, okay? Listen to this show, all right? Because we're the ones that are mostly on target about the Dolphins more than anybody else. On the beat, around the country, listening, internet. I don't give a rat's ass. They will spend money if it's a young free agent. If it's not a young free agent, you don't spend any money. You don't go back, Joe, to buying stupid old players and broken down players. Some of you guys, you don't learn a damn thing. You want to go back to signing Sue. Just like the morons at the beginning of the year. Let's go get Clowney. Let's go get, what was the name of the Trent Williams, right? The Washington guy holding out who's 33 years old and wants to get paid. Oh, let's go get Trent. We need it. You don't learn a damn thing. You and some of the media members. Do you realize that they're trying to go young? So, if there happens to be a young offensive lineman that becomes available in free agency, which, by the way, is very rare that a 25, 26, 27-year-old is going to become available. The guys that become available are 31. And they're worn out and they're coming off injuries or they've got multiple injuries for multiple years, i.e. Josh Sitton. But Joe wants to keep signing stupid-ass free agents. We are getting so O-line during free agency. Oh, man. Some of you guys won't learn. If you sign anything free agency, trust me, a 1-year, 2-year deal. Just sign a guy that you're just going to – they're not going to go and give a guy that's 31 $30 million up front and all that. They're not doing that. Those days are done. I keep trying to explain that to people, and they still don't want to understand. They don't want to pay attention. When all that money, and then they said that they would be aggressive, certain members in the media, oh, they're going to go out and spend crazy. And what did I tell you right from the get-go? No, they're not. They're not going to spend crazy. They're not doing that anymore. And then they came back and kind of followed it up with, hey, we're going to spend, but we're going to be smart about it. Exactly. They're going to sign their own, and they're going to sign guys that they can get in and out, a 1 or 2 year deal, which means you're not getting quality guys in free agency. The quality guys are older, and they want money. It's their last contract. And Miami is not going to be their last contract. It's not going to happen. So get that out of your mind. That those days are done. They're building through the draft. Free agency will be rare. It'll be middle-of-the-road free agents. Nothing special. Unless young free agent becomes available. That's it. What else do we have here? Dark Knight says Manny won't make it through 2020. Well, if he has a lot of the stupid-ass crap that went on this year, he shouldn't make it through 2020. Daniel Amador says, picking up a quarterback, running back, and defensive end in first round. Yeah, there's the guy that knows nothing about the offensive line. Second round, all offensive line. Yeah, exactly. That's really smart. Hey, Big O, what are your thoughts on, what is that, Anime? I have no idea what that is. So you did it again, Fred Sled? I have no idea. At a decent price, not high price, guys. Young guys under 28, old, Big O.
Is he trying to say anime?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, this isn't fantasy football, bro. Okay? It's called free agency, which means you overpay, dude. All right? I know. I get it, brother. I understand. You're the guy that you've suspended Deion Waiters like 8 times, and you think somebody's going to give you 2 first-rounders. I get it. You're that guy. Big Mike, why hasn't Miami announced that the Gailey hire, or did I miss it? Mark Colombo was mentioned as Miami O-line coach if he was let go by Dallas. I don't know. Did they mention the Chan Gailey hire? I don't know. You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't know if there's been like an official thing, but whatever. He's here. Big deal. I don't really care about that. He's here. How old is Trent? What, like 33 or something? Our football says, great job, Big O. Thank you. Miami Kid says, Big O, I'm hoping that Flores has some input in this year's draft that Charles Harris picked has made me queasy about Chris Greer. All right, Miami Kid. So how did Wilkins do this year? How did X do? Isn't he a great pick for a second rounder? Didn't he do good with Laramie Tunsil? I'm just wondering, is Miami Kid, do you have just selective memory? Did he not pick Preston Williams now in free agency out of the rookie draft? How about Mike Gesicki? Did he wake up now and looking better? And Jerome Baker also? Those are all his picks, dude. I mean, if you just want to pick on Charles Harris, I get it now. I get it. Between you and Joe, you guys just want to raise my blood pressure. That's all it is, right? That's what you guys are doing today? You're going to raise my blood pressure? Hey, the Charles Harris pick. Wow, that's super convenient, dude. Super convenient. You don't point out any of the other picks. Right? It's amazing. You find Nick Needham out of nothing. You might have found your 4th or 5th corner for next year. Yeah, but, Chris Greer sucks. Oh, I can only talk about Charles Harris, but why am I going to mention that Christian Wilkins did a nice job? Why am I going to mention that Mike Gesicki turned it around? Why am I going to mention that Jerome Baker played well and that Raekwon McMillan played better? Why am I going to mention any of that? Why am I going to mention that Chris Greer found X, a shutdown corner in the second round? Why am I going to mention that? Why am I going to mention that he drafted Minkah Fitzpatrick in the first round and Laramie Tunsil, and they're both hits, and he made Laramie Tunsil a first-round pick he picked into 3 picks? Why am I going to mention that? No, but let me just focus on Charles freaking Harris. Let me not talk about Jakeem Grant for a 5th rounder. Yeah, why am I going to do that? Let me just say Charles Harris. That's all. Del carajo. Okay? Wow. Love it. 1 week from today, LSU will beat the brakes off of Clemson. Watch. If it was Tannenbaum who probably had to say Charles Harris pick, I don't know who it was. Whatever. I don't care. In the end, I don't care. I like what Chris Greer's doing. And what he's done in the last, 10 months, monstrous. Cleared out all the cap problems. Loaded them up with draft picks. Got you what looks like a head coach. You want to keep talking Charles Harris? How about Brian Flores? Del carajo. Wow. Some of you guys out there, you're real doozies. You are real doozies, I got to tell you. Some of you out there don't learn a damn thing. By the way, the show is proudly brought to you by Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines. And, folks, we would never tell you to go buy or lease a vehicle where we wouldn't do it ourselves. I've owned and leased Acura vehicles. We've got 2 in our household. This is what I want you to do. Anybody else that you hear do a live spot for a car dealership, go check what car they're actually driving. Go check that. Because I love somebody telling you, hey, go buy or lease a vehicle here, but they don't drive that vehicle. They drive something else because that's kind of phony, right? So that's why I tell you. And right now, folks, they got some awesome lease features. The ILX 2020 models, $209, the TLX $239, the RDX $339, the MDX $349, only $29.99 due at signing, plus tax tag and registration, folks. Get on down there, check out the fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles and the used cars, all makes, all models to fit all kinds of budgets. Get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard. Tell Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all those great people out there that Big O sent you. And trust me, they will take care of you at Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get ready for Tua and Saban. They are going to address the media. We are going to carry it.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This This is the Big O Show.
How's it feel to win a playoff game?
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are awaiting Mr. Tua, and we'll see if he says that he is coming out. Would be nice. We will find out from Mr. Tua if he is going to declare for the draft. What do you think?
If I'm a betting man, I'm betting that he's leaving.
Right?
He's got a ring. He's got a national championship ring.
Yeah.
What does he have to go back for? Risk more injuries? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, to me, I'm with you. I don't know where it makes any sense for him to come back.
Back in the day, winning the Heisman Trophy was a big deal. Now, hell, guys win Heisman, go play basketball. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, those days are over.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I just, to me, it makes no sense for him to end up coming back. But again, did it make any sense for Peyton Manning to come back? Right?
No, but Peyton's a different animal because he comes from a family that has that tradition. They've got money, secure. You know.
Right.
I don't know how, how much money Tua's family has.
Right.
You know?
I got you. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I was thinking about this. We could get the camera and aim it to the screen to show the press conference. No, but we're not. No. We're just gonna give you the audio.
Not gonna be a copyright infringement.
Yeah,
there,
I don't know. We'll just give you the audio to it so you can find out like we do. We are looking at the press conference right now live. I'm seeing the Coke bottle, the Dasani bottle, the Mercedes sign under the microphone, and then the Alabama Crimson Tide logo, obviously. So they've got a couple of strong sponsors back there, and Alpha Insurance too is also in there, getting a nice little plug.
It's like Mike Myers, right? Wayne's World. You know how he turns the Pepsi and smiles and everything.
Gotta have some stuff, man. You gotta have the folks ready to go. 420 Frego says, yes, Greer drafted Minka and Tunsil, but traded them, and we're getting a 17th and 20th pick in return. Going to be really hard to replace that kind of talent. They got 3 picks for Tunsil, dude. They got 2 first-rounders and a second. Okay? And they got rid of $8 million in salary that they didn't need to keep. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yes, the Minka one, you fall behind. It's at 18th, right? I think it is, instead of 10. All right, that's his job. He's got to find another guy. That's what they hired Chris Greer to do. He found X in the second round. Okay? X is pretty good. Just saying. He found Preston Williams in street free agency, undrafted. Pretty good. They found Nick Needham to be a backup for you out of the scrap heap. Pretty good. You know, so he can find talent. That's not, I mean, this is the problem with you guys. You spin everything like it's totally negative. And I don't understand that, because I get it when there was that stuff going on. If you watch the last 10 months since this man took over, everything pretty much is done is on a competent level, man. They're really good decisions. He didn't want to get rid of Minka. But what are you going to do? If he wants to act like an a-hole and he doesn't want to be the Swiss Army knife, because remember, he is the Swiss Army knife, but he didn't want to be the Swiss Army knife. What are you going to do? Eric Rowe, struggling at corner. They move him to safety. They figure it out. He gets a new contract. Bobby McCain, they know he's not a safety, but he sucked it up for the team and played safety. That's a team guy. Minka did not want to be a team guy. What are you going to do? You're going to keep him here against his will? That's not going to help you. That's not going to help your perception. That's not going to help for... You want to get out of here? Get the hell out of here, bro. Okay? Minka doesn't want to be here? Then so be it. Get out of here, bro. I'm fine with that. And Tunsil, they offered a stupid-ass trade. You take that trade every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Oh, and by the way, did you watch the game? What did they talk about with Laramie Tunsil? Do you remember? What was the highlight? Did you watch it?
14 illegal procedure calls over the course of the year.
Did you mention that there in your whole thing? All right, let's go to Nick Saban. Here we go.
I want everybody to know how proud we are to be up here with Tua today, and certainly thank you all for coming, showing interest in Tua and, our program here at Alabama. Tua has probably had as much of an impact on our program here as any player that we've ever had. And I'm not just talking about as a football player. He's got great character. He's a great leader. He's done a wonderful job in the classroom. There's a spirit about him that has impacted myself and everybody around him in a very, very positive way. He's had great accomplishments on the field, but you probably don't really fully understand the significance of the contributions that he's made off the field with his teammates and the people who are around him every day. An unbelievable positive spirit. He's helped us, continue the streak to 9 of 11 win seasons. He's won a national championship here with his performance. He's won an SEC championship. And he's also helped us to extend the streak of being in the top 10 to 12 seasons. And I don't think his contribution is not appreciated because it's been outstanding. He's on course to graduate. I think he needs like 17 credits or something like that to graduate. I don't think he's ever been in my office one time the whole time he's been here for anything but something that's positive in terms of helping him or, helping the rest of our program. I know this has been a very difficult decision for him and his family. Our role in that is not to make a decision, but only to provide all the information that we can, whether it's physical, medical, spiritual, and every way that we can, to help any of our players, make their decision. And I know some of the guys have announced on social media what they're going to do. There'll probably be a couple other announcements forthcoming, but I think it's fitting that a guy that has had such an impact, on our program, on college football, that we have a press conference here today. And with that, I'll turn it over to Tua, and he can announce his decision. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Thank you all for coming today. I've had a difficult time making this decision about my future. But first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for this opportunity to stand before you all with my decision. My love for the University of Alabama, our coaches, our fans, and my teammates has made this especially hard for me. I have had the advice and counsel of my parents, my family, and coaches in going through a thorough analysis of the alternatives. And without further ado, with lots of prayers, thoughts, and guidance, I have decided that I will be declaring and entering the 2020 NFL Draft. My 3 years at the University of Alabama have been the epitome of a roller coaster. I've had a fair share of ups, of many ups and a handful of downs, and I couldn't be happier to know that with all the success and failures I've had here at the university, it has prepared me for life in general. I can't express how grateful I am to have attended the greatest school in college. But the biggest thing I will remember with my time here are the memories that I've made with all my friends, family, and loved ones. I want to honor and thank Coach Saban for allowing me the chance to play for him. I'm forever grateful that I not only got to build a great relationship with someone like him, but I also got to play for him. I'd like to thank Coach Sark and our entire coaching staff for helping me enhance my skills this year. And I'd like to thank Jeff Allen and his athletic training staff for the first-class treatment they've given and shown me and my family. I'd like to thank Josh Maxson and his crew for helping me build my brand here. And to all those behind the scenes that don't get enough credit, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to extend my appreciation also to John Deaver and our academic advisors for the help and support they've given me, and to our AD, Greg Byrne. Thank you for the many talks we've had and for the tremendous support you've given me. To my teammates, thank you for the lifetime worth of memories and lessons. Thank you for the laughs, the love, and all the hard work that came with helping me shape me to be who I am today. I'm going to miss you all from the starting lineup to the scout team. To Bama Nation, I'd just like to thank you all for a tremendous 3 years of support that you've given me and my family, and thank you for taking our family in as your own. To my parents, thank you for giving me everything. Thank you for everything, and thank you guys for instilling everything you had in me, and thank you for your continuous love, support, and especially prayers. I'd like to thank my family and everyone who's been involved in this process. Like I've heard my parents say many times, it takes a village to raise a child, so thank you all. As I wrap things up, there will still be a Tagovailoa here playing football, and it's my little brother Talia. And I plan to stay close to the university and always be a part of the Alabama family. So I'd like to leave you all with this from one of my favorite Tim McGraw songs. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. Thank you all so much. God bless and Roll Tide.
Thanks, Tua. At this time, Coach is going to dismiss, and Tua is going to take some questions. Alex is going to run that for you.
Raise your hand like you do. First, with Cecil back there in the corner.
For those of you that are not watching, he is standing throughout this whole thing, by the way.
What's the next step for you now in terms of rehab, in terms of meeting with teams? Have you thought that out yet?
Yeah, well, I'm just focusing on my rehab as far as now, with all the teams, and, you know, deciding if I'm going to do anything physically. You know, we'll decide that with, you know, our athletic training staff, and then, you know, with what the doctors have to say about that.
So are you going to stay here to rehab at least for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, yes.
Up front here with Chris.
Was there one thing that was the deciding factor in this decision?
I mean, no, it was just a hard decision all around. Just taking into consideration the pros and cons for both both sides of the situation and, you know, of the decision. And, you know, I got to see guidance from my family. We prayed a lot about it, you know, and this is a decision that I'm going to have to live with, you know, and so I made it, and, I mean, I'm good with it.
Over here in the middle with Al.
Tua, you went to New York this weekend to kind of get an evaluation. What kind of feedback did you hear from doctors there, and what did that kind of tell you about the foreseeable future?
Well, I don't think any of the doctors can tell, you know, the foreseeable future. None of the guys rehabbing me can tell that. You know, from what they've seen, you know, in New York, you know, everything looks good, but you can't really tell until the 3-month mark or the 4-month mark, you know. So that's the gauge on all of that.
We're on the left with John.
Another feedback question. What did you hear from NFL types, NFL teams, executives, scouts, whatever, about, because it's kind of a unique situation to be in?
Yeah, it's a unique situation for sure. You know, with my hip, I mean, a lot of the guys, you know, the general managers, the owners that I've got to talk to kind of said the same thing. They kind of look at this injury as like a knee injury almost, although it's not. You know, in a way that, okay, are we going to take a chance on this guy, or would he be able to, you know, possibly do a pro day before, you know, before the draft and whatnot? And really the biggest thing they want to do is just see that we can, you know, move and we can just be back to how we were playing prior to the injury.
How much, if at all, did you get to talk to, you know, the fellow juniors in your class, and you know, what did you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, we all got to talk. A lot of their decisions were based off, you know, whether they played good in this past game or not. But I mean, we all pretty much knew what everyone was going to do, kind of prior to the game, but it wasn't set. And I mean, you know, they don't. A lot of guys in my class, we don't have to share any of that information, you know. But I mean, a lot of them have made their decisions pretty clear, you know, up to this point. So.
In the middle with Michael.
Now that you're leaving, what are your thoughts on the quarterback competition that'll be coming in the fall?
Yeah, it'll be good. You know, I'm looking forward to it. They got another guy coming in, Bryce Young. You know, he looked really good at his All-American game. I mean, if you love competition, you know, now's the best time for it. You know, for Mac Jones, for my little brother, and for that Bryce Young, the incoming freshman. So.
Tua, you talked about the decision and the announcement, but now this is where you motivate, you challenge yourself, you test your heart. How gratifying is it now to be on your shoulders to make or break the next step?
Well, you know, these kind of things don't really take the doctors. They don't really take myself. It pretty much boils down to one thing, and I think that's faith. You know, it boils down to that. And coming from a family that has a lot of it, you know, I'm definitely willing to take that challenge.
Back here with Chase.
Tua, was the supplemental draft in the summer part of your consideration process?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, if that was part of my process, I probably would have just said I was going to stay here at the University of Alabama. So it wasn't really a thought.
Middle here with Joe.
Tua, first off, congratulations on the incredible career.
Thank you.
Could you explain more how faith went into this decision that you decided to make?
Yeah, well, you know, we seek guidance from, you know, a good amount of pastors. You know, my dad is really good friends with Pastor Chris, Church of the Highlands. I got to seek counsel from, you know, our pastors back home, and then also Pastor Perry Stone. So, I mean, you know, they pretty much all had the same thing, you know, follow your heart. And then they also had, you know, stories to kind of align with what they were trying to share with me too. So.
You mentioned talking to NFL general managers. Do you have an estimate how many you spoke with?
Probably too many. There's just a good amount, you know. So.
Anyone else have any questions? In the middle here with
mentioned about how difficult this decision was.
Mm-hmm.
Just how late in this process were you kind of going back and forth, and was there like a day, whether it was last Friday after the doctor visit or what, that you decided you made this decision final?
Yeah, it was a really hard decision. I mean, going through my rehab and then with my parents, talking to my parents about it. I mean, it's been tough. I have been going back and forth. Because I mean, some things make sense, some others don't. I mean, I just had to factor in a lot of things, as to why I should either stay or why I should leave. But I mean, we set a date just so we could kind of get everything over with, and we're not, continue to play but if I do stay, this could happen. But if I do go, this could happen. So now that it's done, I mean, don't got to worry about it too much anymore.
Over here with John.
Do you, from everything you've heard and everything you believe, do you feel like you'll be a pretty high first-round pick, and would you have gone if you didn't expect that?
Yeah, I don't think I can tell you that. I don't think any of the teams can tell you that. It really depends on how the doctors how the doctor's report goes. With my MRI, my X-rays at the 3-month mark. But then again, I think what factors into this decision too was our faith, and I mean it's a leap of it.
And you follow up. You mentioned this was a roller coaster ride for a young guy from Hawaii to come in and kind of accomplish what you did at Alabama. How would you describe that and just the transition you had culturally, football-wise, everything becoming such a big name?
Yeah, well, culturally, it was different. Like I said, probably my freshman year and my sophomore year, culturally they just fry everything over here. So it's like it's different. I'd say it's been a roller coaster because I've got to see the spectrum of both sides, having a lot of success, winning a national championship, losing a national championship, going through adversity, coming back from it, continuing to go through it. So it's just been, a mixture of emotions. But I mean, for me, I think coming to a place like this has helped me, has helped set me up to be in the best position to become successful later in life too.
All right, 2 more. Chris Walsh and then Mike.
Just to follow up on that, how are you emotionally right now? I mean, are you happy, overwhelmed, scared?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel right now. I'm content with the decision that I've made. It's more so what's next. That's kind of what I'm thinking of, like what's next with this process.
All right, Matt, over here.
Two quick questions for you. So first of all, how much did you meet with Coach Saban over the course of the last couple of days here?
Yeah, I met with him a lot, probably 5 times, within this past week. So it's been pretty good.
So based on the updated feedback that you've gotten, are you expecting right now to be ready for the start of football season, be able to play at that point? Are you optimistic about that?
About playing football?
Yeah, about being available to play at the beginning of football season.
Yeah, I'm optimistic that I'll be able to play, this upcoming season. But I think for me right now, I'm more so worried about, getting better as soon as possible, see what I can do, if I can do a pro day, if I can't do a pro day. And then, it's really all dependent on what the doctors, have to say to the teams and, what the results come back in as.
Last one here in the middle of Michael.
I know you said you went back and forth on your decision. Was there any point where you had made up your mind and you were going to come back and change that decision?
Well, seeking guidance from my family, my parents. We've had a lot of family talks, about this, and I think this is the best thing for me and my family to do. So that's why I made the decision.
All right.
All right, thank you, guys.
There you go. That is Tua announcing that he is leaving, which is what he should do, and go into the NFL draft. So now the question is, let's go over a lot of the stuff that Tua talked about here on his press conference. There was a couple things that really stood out to me. First of all, the docs can't tell him anything about the future. So there's still, he didn't come out and put any kind of declaration that he's going to be fine. When he was even asked about playing available for the regular season, he says he was optimistic that he'll play football next year. He never really gave a date, right? So that leaves a lot of gray area. And then, he doesn't even know if he'll be a first rounder. The teams don't know if he'll be a first rounder. And that's, maybe he hasn't gotten any team to commit to say, yeah, no, we'll take in the first round, or maybe he has and he doesn't want to say anything along those lines. But the way he kind of spoke was that they didn't give him a feeling that for sure he's going to go in the first round. But trust me, he's got to have people that have already kind of inquired if he's still going to go in the first round. Now, here's the thing. If the doctors don't know until the third or fourth month where he's at in the rehab, then how does a team know? And there was a tweet that came, or a text that came in on the YouTube chat board. And let's see, who was it that said it here? So many have come in now that, damn it, which one is it? I forgot which one of you put it, but it's so many there. I can't read them all at the same time. But one person said, I'd rather draft Tua and be wrong than not draft him and make the mistake, and he goes on to have the success. Here's where, if you're the Dolphins and if you're a Dolphin, okay, two different things here. All right, let's first talk about the Dolphins. You have 14 picks, man. So if you got a second rounder last year, made it 2 second rounders, and took a shot at Josh Rosen. Hasn't worked out. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But whatever, I have no problem with that. I don't have a problem with that thinking either. I got to tell you, while I'm not big at drafting Tua at 5, I told you guys this. If you're going to draft him at 5, then go draft another quarterback later on in the draft. Okay? I got no problem with that. Take the fishnet approach. I get it. You got all these picks. So I don't think any of us are going to get mad if you take shots at quarterbacks. When you haven't had one since Dan Marino, I think we're good at you taking multiple shots at quarterbacks. Do you know why? Eventually, you're going to hit on one. The problem with the Dolphins is they never take quarterbacks. They never try. They had Tannehill here for 7 years and never tried. Even during Marino and after Marino, you still haven't tried enough. So if you failed on Rosen last year, you fail on Tua this year, I don't care. Keep going, bro. I'm good with that. Keep going. Following year, you got to try drafting another one. And another one after that. And another one after that. I don't care. Keep trying. Get one. Find one. Unearth it somewhere. That's all. Hey, if you can find a Preston Williams that maybe does end up cracking your receiving core next year, becoming your number 2 guy, possibly a number 1 down the line, you didn't waste a draft pick. Boom. If Nick Needham does improve next year, become a 3rd, 4th corner, you did it without a draft pick. If Taco Charlton can play a little better next year, become a rotational defensive end, not a starter, a rotational guy, you did it without a draft pick. So find talent in other places, other ways. Quarterbacks, go draft them. I got no problem with that. But see, cover your ass. And while I'm not a big fan of drafting Tua, period, in the first round, but if you are going to draft him, go get another one. No problem. Load up the roster with quarterbacks. I don't care if you have 3 young guys. Rosen and the 2 guys you draft this year. I'm good with that. They hang around Fitz. They learn from Fitz. They learn from Chan Gailey. One of them's got to come through. And who knows? What if 2 come through? What if Tua and Jordan Love is good? What if Tua and Rosen? What if Rosen and Joe and Love? I don't care. I don't care what combination. All of a sudden, you got trade bait. Keep taking quarterbacks. It's a beautiful thing. Now, you hear the risk. He's already a risk because he's injury prone. He's a fragile player. There's no other way to phrase it. The guy breaks down. Whether you want to call it freakish, whether you want to call it rare, whether you want to call it whatever adjective you want to describe, the way he gets injured, it happens. It's part of his DNA. So you've got to prepare for that. But he told you in this press conference, the doctors won't know for 3 to 4 months where the healing is at. Okay? He told you that teams basically, and he hasn't really heard whether he's going to be a first rounder or not. He's going on faith and all that good stuff. So there is a huge risk you're taking. You're already taking a risk with him. I don't care what the doctors tell you. I don't care if the doctor tells me his hip will be stronger than it was when he first had it. Doesn't matter to me because he's not durable. So he's a risk already as it is, and listen to all those other things. He doesn't even know if he's going to be able to do a pro day, which he's not going to do a pro day. Dude, if they don't know his hip where it's going to be 3 to 4 months from now, how's he going to do a pro day? He's definitely not going to do a pro day. He probably won't play till, if he can, till late in the season. And if your season's gone to crap already at that point, you might just wait till next year and say, let that thing completely heal up. So that way your first real hit is almost 18 months, 20 months from when you had your surgery. That might be the best approach for Tua. And that way you have Fitz and the other 2 young guys play that year. Next year, in other words. Might be the best way to go about it. Cover your ass. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to take Tua. Now, I'll tell you something that came out of this that is really good for Alabama. When Tua says, coming to a place like this has set me up to succeed. And I'm paraphrasing in this position that I'm in. That was a hell of a sell job for Alabama. Because everything that goes on, all the adversity, 5 meetings with Nick this week, his praise of being there in Alabama, it's a great sell job for the program, man. Awesome for them. It really is. I mean, we're watching all the problems that the University of Miami has. Holy crap. Even in adversity, Alabama's getting great pub. It's sick. Best player for them, best quarterback in the draft. Unfortunately, he's injured, but he's the guy telling you, let me tell you, if I'm going to have a career-threatening injury and all of that, this is the place to be. He's telling you the care he's had. Oh, remember when we were asking about, well, one guy put, well, the NFL, he'll get the best medical care, and I said, no. The medical care in the NFL is nothing better than Alabama. It's just as good. No difference. Resources, man. Alabama's got them, baby, in a big-time way. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay. Tua will not make it in the NFL, Emilio says. But again, Emilio, it's like one of our listeners put out there. So you have so many picks. Does it hurt you if you throw one away? Because if you do hit on Tua, it's the hit of the lifetime. And if you miss, we're singing Drew Brees Part 2. Remember that. Okay? This is all, we are all shell-shocked from Drew Brees. If you only had the 7 picks of the draft and only 1 first-rounder and you passed up on Tua, I would say, man, you're smart. Whether he becomes the guy or not, you could not afford to take the chance. But where, even though I don't like him in the first round, can you argue with somebody that has 3 first-rounders and says, you know what, I'm taking a stab on the kid? How does that not make sense? How do you sit back? It's like that one guy that was picking on Charles Harris, but doesn't mention all the other good draft picks. Oh, no, I'm worried about Chris Greer because of Charles Harris. But I'm not worried about him because he picked Tunsil, and he picked Minka, and he picked X, and he picked Wilkins, and he picked Jerome Baker, and we could just keep going. No, but I'm worried about Charles Harris. Come on, man. Come on. So that's where you cannot say taking a gamble on Tua, if you're the Dolphins, makes no sense. I can't even say that. You have so many picks? What the hell, dude? If you hit on it, oh my Lord. And like I told you, cover your ass, draft another guy. Now you got Rosen, let's say Jordan Love, and Tua. If you miss on all 3, then I can't help you, man. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say, when you said, Tua, take a hit, thinking of that hit, man, it just doesn't sound good. You know? It just doesn't.
No, of course not.
It just, I don't care if it's 18, 20, it just doesn't sound good.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't. But if you're the Dolphins and all those picks, I get it. I really understand it. By the way, the show is proudly brought to you by Choice Mortgage Bank. Support the folks that support us. You need a mortgage, call Michael Codsey. Look, he gives you his personal cell number. He's got a AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Call him right now, 561-441-2730. We can still get you into state rates under 3.5%. Call Michael Codsey right now, 561-441-2730.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Codsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Codsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
This is the Big O Show.
All righty. Welcome back. If you want to get in on the program, you can chime in there on the YouTube chat board, of course. If you're watching, as always, spread the word. Also, give us a thumbs up on the broadcast. We appreciate it. And tell folks to subscribe to Big O Radio Show on YouTube. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers ASAP so we can get you better live coverage too, especially with all the draft stuff coming up, because we're hitting the road next week. We'll be, dude, it's already like today. We're gonna, like right now, we'll be at practice. Well, no, actually, we'll be in between the two practices, I think. Maybe, I don't know. It's gonna be really weird, by the way, the show next week. Like, it's gonna be odd when we're doing the shows and stuff like that, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot of interviews. We're going to do a lot of things, audio, video, all kinds of stuff that we're going to have for you. So make sure you follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Big O Radio Show. We're going to get you the best draft coverage that is out there. Ivan says, can't wait for Miami to get fleeced into trading up for Tua and giving up assets and ends up being a bust in Dysfunctionville. Well, I didn't see any dysfunction, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Didn't seem like a lot of dysfunction this year. Not sure what but I get it. You're probably not a Dolphins fan, so you're making a stupid joke that really doesn't fly. But, I mean, listen, bro. Ivan, if it gets you all excited and you can play with yourself right now, go ahead, bro. Play with yourself. Get all excited. I read your little shot at the Dolphins. Are you happy, Ivan? Huh, Ivan? Are you happy? Huh, Ivan? Are you? Oh, Big O, he read my thing. Yay.
He just lost the nut.
Yes. Yes. Eduardo Gonzalez says, bye, Tom Brady. Go Dolphins. Arriba. Los Delfines del Miami. Can't wait. Let's see. Big O, the glass is half full with Harris. Aren't mistakes the agents of evolution? NFL fans could learn from baseball fans. A sport where getting it right 1/3 of the time puts you in the Hall of Fame. That's right, Dougie Fresh. Big O, I hear where you're coming from, but acting like the Dolphins have a lot of expendable picks isn't right. Dolphins need good players that have more than a 50-50 shot of probability. Dude, we're talking about quarterbacks. That's not 50-50. Quarterbacks are 20-80. Oh, I just want a quarterback. I don't mind if you – I love the fact that they took a shot at Rosen last year. Okay, if it failed, who cares? He got 1 second-rounder, made it 2 second-rounders. So he got Rosen for free. And you could use him as a backup because it's cheap. It's smart in every way possible. If it doesn't work out, big deal. You move on. You still have your second-rounder. You didn't lose it. So, and this year, take 2 quarterbacks. I don't care. Find a damn quarterback. I'm good with it. So, you use 2 on quarterbacks. You have 12 other picks, man. Come on. That's a lot. And the way this team, the way they work free agency, they might find another gem or 2 in undrafted free agents. Just find me a guy. I don't care. Tua is a generational player. Yeah, he's injury prone. Let's give him 2 years to sit and get stronger. We got to take this chance with so much draft capital, and I'm a Rosen guy. Exactly. That's what Dudada says. Dudada, or how about Dean Dada? No, Dean Dada. You should have gone Dean Dada, not Dudada. Let's see. Bill says, just heard from the other rumor mill that one of the few places that Giselle will allow Brady to go is Miami. Yeah, but that won't happen here. They're not going in that direction. They're going young. Bill K says, would you take him for a year or two? I get that. The problem is, Bill, bro, let's get realistic. Tom Brady has a year or two. Why is he going to come to a team that's rebuilding? This is what I would tell you, Bill. Okay? Stop smoking the weed with the seeds. Try get better weed, no seeds. Okay? That way you won't drive around with holes on your shirt and you won't be that high. Just put it down. It's not even 420 yet, Bill, and you're smoking. Okay? They have no offensive line here. They don't have a running game. They would have to fix everything to bring Brady here. Brady's going to go to the Dallas Cowboys, which I doubt with the way they're structured now with Mike McCarthy. He's going to go to the Chicago Bears. He's going to go to, trying to think of a ready-made situation that needs a quarterback. I doubt Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's kind of close. Carolina's kind of close. You know what I'm saying? The Dolphins are nowhere near close. I don't care that they have Patriot coaches and all that. Tom Brady's not coming here, bro. It just makes no sense whatsoever. If he goes somewhere, it's a place that, I'm telling you, the Bears would be freaking awesome for Brady. It really would. The Bears need well, I see where Kyle Long, did you see that Kyle Long is going to retire? Well, not retire. He says he's 31. He's basically retiring. But he's ended 4 straight seasons on the IR. Let me tell you something. You've never met him, but if you would have been with me at the Senior Bowl that year, you would have fallen in love with the guy. You wouldn't have known your Bears would have drafted him, Bill, but you would have fallen in love with the guy. One of my favorite interviews of all time, Kyle Long, at the Senior Bowl. Just a trip. Cool dude, great attitude, great character. It was fun. We had a really cool interview. I believe Brandon Rodriguez was my producer in those days, because this was a long time ago already. Man, whenever he got drafted, however long ago it was, must have been at least 8 or 9 years ago. So anyway, that to me, that's where this situation for Brady, he ends up somewhere where it's close to ready-made. And Miami's not close to ready-made. So he's not going to come here where they have no line. And they've got to figure that out and all that. And he's not doing that, dude. He's not going to rebuild. If he goes somewhere, the Indianapolis Colts. They're not, like, ready-made for Super Bowl, but they're pretty close. They got a hell of an offensive line. They got a decent running game. They got a T.Y. Hilton. Their defense has gotten better. There you go. That's one that's kind of close. It's got to be that kind of situation. Miami is not the one. Trust me. Put the joint down. Not going to happen. And you know what? Can I be twisted? I don't want him here anyway. No, man. I want to see the Dolphins do it on their own, with their own quarterback, getting everything done. That's what I want in a big-time way. Okay? I'm super excited about what's going on. I've been excited for months now, since the offseason. Anybody that's followed this, I'm the only guy in the country that wanted Chris Greer in place. I got what I wanted. Now, I love that he brought Reggie McKenzie and Marvin Allen on. I'm saying stuff that nobody else is saying. Miami's going to have one of the better front offices in the NFL. I'm saying it. I'm on record for it. I'm on record for Chris Greer as it is. I'm on record for these guys. I like what Brian Flores is doing. I love what he did as a coach this year. Excuse me.
Bless
All right?
him.
I love what he did as a coach this year. I love what they did in the offseason, clearing out all this cap space, piling up all these picks. I'm sorry, man. Go listen to somebody else. Go read other writers out there that are just twisting everything. I think it's all positive that what's going on with the Dolphins. I have killed the Dolphins for 20 years for stupid-ass things. I love what they're doing here on a consistent basis. And you guys are going to love it down the line. And all the haters and all the people that were dissing the Dolphins are going to change their tunes. You'll see. You'll see. They're going to go, whoa, you know what the Dolphins did was really smart. And we were laughing at them, and we were saying they were tanking, and they were never tanking. They were building through youth. That's not tanking. That's building through youth. That's all. I watched the Marlins do it. Didn't you watch the Marlins do it? Build through youth. Didn't they tear down a 97 championship club that was veteran-laden with sprinkled in with a couple of young guys? Not like 03 that was loaded with young guys. Sprinkled. They got rid of everybody, and we saw a whole bunch of young guys, and they rebuilt that team through youth. Derek Lee and Mike Lowe and Castillo and all those young guys got to learn all by them lonesome. I was rebuilding through youth. That's what the Dolphins are doing. But, you know, you want to be ignorant and call it tanking? Go ahead. Go ahead. They built through youth, coached it up, and won 5 games, more than other teams. That's not tanking. That's actually super competent. You realize that, right? You realize that what the Dolphins did was more competent than what other teams are doing, that they're trying to win, and they ended up with 3, 4, 5, and 6 wins and 7 wins. Miami got rid of all their bad salaries. They loaded up on draft picks and won 5 games by streaming. You know, in fantasy football, you can stream talent week to week, right? You can, hey, this running back's he's in free agency. He's got a good matchup. I'm going to sign him for my. That's what the Dolphins did in reality. They streamed off of everybody's practice squads and won 5 games. Do you realize that? I mean, are you thinking about that? Do you know how awesome that is? Can you imagine if you start drafting a whole bunch of other players that are really good and these guys can coach? It's like Spoelstra and company grabbing some guy off the street named Duncan Robinson and making him one of the best shooters in the NBA. Kind of like picking up Nick Needham off the freaking street and saying, we'll make you a player. It's kind of like saying, hey, Preston Williams, you went undrafted. We know you got skills. Come on over, young man. We'll make you a player. Eric Rowe. You can't play corner. You've been playing corner your entire life, and you suck. But we figured out you can actually cover tight ends. This is your role from now on. That's coaching, man. So if you don't want to be positive about the Dolphins, screw you, bro. That's all. Get lost, get out of my face. Because what's going on is super positive. I just see it every freaking day. There's all kinds of examples all over the place. But, again, you want to spin crap? Go ahead and spin it. I just sit here and call it like I see it. And if I can go overboard, and from the second they sign Joe Philbin and tell you he sucks and he'll never be a good coach, then I can go overboard and do this too on the positive end, right? I think I'm entitled to do that. I know I'm not in your eyes out there for some of you, because I get killed when I'm telling you Joe Philbin's going to suck ahead of time. And then I get killed for telling you that Chris Greer should be in place. And then I get killed because I'm excited about the coaching staff and the job that they've done. I get killed either way from fans if I'm too positive or if I'm negative about a move that they make. I get it. I'm never going to win. Understandable. But right now, I'm telling you, Dolphin fans, you should be so freaking jacked about this. This is my favorite offseason that I'm going into in 20 years that I've been doing this. You know why? Because I knew that they would screw it up most of the time. Let me not lie. There is one time I had hope. For one moment in time, I did have a little bit of hope. The first year with Parcells. Because I bought into the Parcells thing, and I thought he was, and then the draft with Jake Long, I was jacked. I will say that. I wasn't jacked about the season, the Wildcat stuff, because I called it a gimmick from then, and I said, you can't live off of this crap. Eventually, it's going to run out. You're going to need it. But I thought that Jake Long draft from there on out, but then after everything else, kind of killed it. Jeff Ireland and Sperano and the redhead and everything going on, and it just made me sick to my stomach. But what are you going to do? Now, this is the other time that I feel good about the Dolphins in 20 years. I'm going to ride it out, man. You know, I'm here no matter what. Whether as bad as it could get, I'm still going to be here. Still going to root for the team. Still going to watch it and all that. But I'll call it like I see it. And I just love what's going on with the Dolphins. And I think every other Dolphin fan should too. Out there. I really do. Let me see what you guys and ladies have for me here on the YouTube chat board. Carlos Madrigal says, Dan Marino will give him permission to wear 13 because he will bring us a Super Bowl. Talking about Tua. That's it. You know, I didn't think about that. The good thing is the Finns don't need to draft a receiver. The best thing that happened this season. Oh, you're right. It's another positive. You know, you get Preston back along with the way Parker has developed, right? I love Allen Hurns as a third possession type guy. You got Jakeem Grant will play that fourth receiver role where you had him earlier this season playing much higher, which was not good for him because he's a little guy, just a complimentary guy. Have him in the return game and have him in 7 to 10 plays in the game. Not much. Have him touch the ball on offense 3-4 times, big moments, and that's it, and get him the hell out. Do not play with that kid a lot on offense. And then Isaiah Ford. I don't think Albert Wilson comes back. But then you can draft another guy, if you want, to compete with Isaiah Ford for that fifth spot. And I'm sure the guy that you draft will be also a special team type guy, too. It'll be a guy that's an awesome flyer or an awesome returner, something like that. Let's see. What else do we have? I'm telling you, if the Finns fix the O-line and D-line pass rusher, run stoppers, this team will make the playoffs with the journeyman QB. It's been done before to the Super Bowl without a great one. O-line, D-line, pass rusher. 72 Finns logo. You're not going to get an argument out of me on that one. They would get to the playoffs with Jay Fiedler, bro. Jay Fiedler wasn't a star. Yeah, no, you fix the lines. You fix the lines, you'll make the playoffs with Fitzpatrick. You won't get far, but you'll make the playoffs. Yeah, no, I'm with you. But we all know you want to build the lines, we need to get a quarterback. Because, hey, I'm 53, okay? I need to see a Super Bowl win by the Dolphins. Before I check out of this earth, all right? I need to have a Super Bowl win. Okay? So, 72 Finns logo, I'm with you. We got to fix the lines. But get me that quarterback, baby. Get me that quarterback. I want to win a championship, man. Okay? All right? I want to win a championship. I want to celebrate. Like, in April, we're all going to be together, a lot of us Dolphins in Vegas, right? We're going to have some fun, commiserating, having some fun. It's going to be a great weekend for the Dolphin Nation, all of that. It will pale in comparison if the Dolphins, the next time we get together, it's a Super Bowl and they're trying to win it. Okay? That's when, that's when everything just is beautiful. Is perfect. Let's see. What else do we have here? Drubo says, laughing my ass out loud, wacky tobacco. All right. Oh, you got to do that. Big O, is Florida State football better today with Norville? Dude, I have no idea. I have no idea where Florida State football is. I thought the Taggart hire was a good hire for them, and it didn't work out. What do you want me to tell you, man? Taggart hire looked like it was a good hire, and it was an absolute disaster. I like the Manny Diaz hire, and so far, first year, disaster. I might not be a good judge of character for your college coach. I'm not on a good roll right now, I got to tell you. I wish you guys the best because I don't have any hatred towards Florida State. So I wish you the best except when you play the U. I just don't know where the hell my U is. You know what I mean? And, you know, this guy that comes in now, Lashley, okay, he's got good credentials. We'll see. Dan Enos had great credentials, too, at Alabama. How'd that work out? You know? That's where I can't tell you that it's going to be a sure thing. On the other side, Jason Turner. He covers Mr. Jordan Love for Utah State and the Herald Journal. He is the beat writer. So you guys want to find out? We're going to turn our attention to a little NFL draft, and we'll talk a little NFL draft with Jason Turner next. We'll get his thoughts on Jordan Love, a quarterback that the Miami Dolphins may be drafting in April for the 2020 draft. So stay tuned. Let me tell you about EJD Construction. Eric and John, nobody is going to outwork those guys. Listen, we're not talking about a handyman. We're talking about custom home construction, major home remodeling. Please call EJD Construction and tell them that Big O sent you. 305-318-4978. That's the cell phone number for the owner, Eric, and he's also the head guy. He's the guy that's going to be leading every project that's in your home. And the communication with you and your architect is second to none. All right? That's why you want to call him. 305-318-4978. You want to improve that man cave. You want to improve the kitchen, the backyard, front yard, whatever it is, whatever crafty thing you want the TV to come out of the roof or the wall, you call EJD Construction. 305-318-4978.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are ready to rock. Hour number 3 of the program. We promised you that Jason Turner would be joining us, of course. And he is of the Herald Journal. He covers Utah State. And obviously, Jordan Love is one of those guys that Dolph fans have been talking a lot about. Let's bring him aboard. You can follow him on Twitter at HJ Trebek. All right, so I got the... you got to explain to me exactly the Twitter handle first and foremost, Jason.
Yeah, no problem. So have you ever seen Celebrity Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Old SNL skit from about 20 years ago?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's in reference to that.
I got it now. Okay.
And Will Ferrell, so those characters on that show are hilarious. So, yeah, that's where it originates from.
Okay. All right. Good. I love it. All right. Good stuff there from
Sean
Jason
Connery, man. That was too much.
Yes, Sean Connery. Yes.
Yes, Sean Connery.
Yes. That is awesome. Good stuff there, Jason. All right. So, Jay, when I've watched this guy play a couple times, Jordan Love, and I think I've seen it about 4 or 5 times, I've kind of come to the realization that I think he's a good player that is trying really hard on a bad football team. And so sometimes he kind of forces the issue, because there are moments, my man, where he makes some throws that are just jaw-dropping, that you're like, okay, there's only a few guys on the planet that can make that throw. So tell me a little bit about Jordan Love and how we assess his play overall on that team.
Yeah, I do think, the Aggies actually, I think they were a pretty good football team at the beginning of the year. They suffered some injuries, and they weren't playing very good football at the end of the season. I think there were a lot of different factors this year to his play, Jordan's play. Ironically, I felt he actually played. He played some of his best football at the end of the season. He was making fewer bad decisions, definitely fewer interceptions. But there were just a lot of factors this year. They lost almost all of their top playmakers from their record-setting 2018 season. A new offensive line, and then their best, who I feel was probably their best offensive lineman, suffered a season-ending injury against San Diego State. Yeah, so I mean, I completely agree with your assessment. I can think of even the games where he didn't fare well statistically. I can think of 1 or 2 throws in every game this past season that were just kind of jaw-dropping, where you feel like you're right, not many people on the planet can make that kind of throw. But the decision-making was suspect at times this season, and yeah, just a lot of extraneous factors that went into that.
Yeah, when you talk about 20 touchdowns, but then you have 17 interceptions, that's where were there moments that you know that he was forcing it, or do you a lot of that was bad decisions? Which way do you lean when you look at those 17 interceptions?
Definitely a combination of both. Jordan Love does have kind of an innate ability to fit a ball in a tight window, but I think when you have that ability, sometimes you make bad decisions, and there were a couple of times where I don't think he surveyed the field well enough. I had a handful of passes picked off by linebackers this year where if he just surveys the field a little bit better, he can see that linebacker cheating. But yeah, I definitely think it was a combination of both. But like I said, his decision making was quite good toward the end of the season. He had the one pick six against Florida State. I think he did have an interception. He played really well in the bowl game. That's true. He had a pick six against Wyoming. He played really well the second quarter on in that game. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of a mixed bag this year. But every game this year, he had a couple of throws that just kind of blew you away, blew your mind a little bit.
He has a little Russell Wilson in him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think he's more athletic than people. I think maybe that's one of his attributes that gets overlooked a little bit. Is he actually is quite athletic. He rushed for 7 touchdowns last season. He doesn't run a lot, but he actually can be a really effective runner. He's big and strong. He's a big, strong kid.
But what I mean by Jason, I don't mean so much about a runner. What I mean is he is crafty back there in making plays in key moments at times, because that's one of the things that it seems like that he has that knack a little bit like Russell Wilson. I'm not going to compare him that he's Russell Wilson, but he has a little bit of that. Hey, I can make a play when you really need it at times.
Well, for sure, yeah. I mean, again, every game this year, he just fit a couple of passes in a really tight window. He's especially good at throwing the deep ball. He throws a really, really pretty deep ball. I think the intermediate throws, he needs to shore up that a little bit. He was maybe a little bit accurate on some of those intermediate, shorter patterns, but throws a gorgeous deep ball for sure.
Now, again, and that's where, for me, I'd take a chance on him, because I think you can deal with a guy that is maybe forcing the issue or making some bad decisions. What I think you can't deal with is the guy that can't put the ball where you need it to be. And I don't think accuracy is really a major problem for him. I think sometimes it might be more fundamentals at times when he's off. It's not because like you just said, when it comes to deep balls, he puts it right there. So he has touch. He has accuracy. It's just sometimes he might rush things and might force it.
Hey, sorry, I'm losing you. I can't hear you very well right now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You got me now? Can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah, I think I'm
okay.
Just get out here and drive around for a second.
Okay, all right. So what I was saying is that he's the kind of guy that it's accuracy, I don't think, is a problem with him. It might be fundamentals at times where he might not be positioned right. He might make a bad decision. But like you just said, when he throws the deep ball, he throws a pretty one, and he's got accuracy and he's got touch. So it's more about working on his fundamentals, isn't it, and his decision-making.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like decision-making was definitely a big part of some of his struggles this season. And, yeah, I think sometimes he did get a little bit of happy feet in the pocket. He really was blessed last season to have a veteran offensive line. I mean, they returned 4 of their starters from the 2017 season, so they had stability there. And I think, Utah State's schedule was markedly more difficult this past season than it was in 2018. So, I mean, there really were just a lot of factors that went into his decreased production.
So let me ask you, Jason, where have you seen the growth from one year to another when it comes to Jordan Love?
Ooh, that's a good question. I really think I saw more spectacular throws this season than last season. Another thing about 2018 is he had a couple of receivers, really big physical targets that he could put a ball in tight space and they were going to out-physical the defensive back and come down with that football. I think he had good playmakers this season. He just didn't have – they weren't the same – they weren't as big. They weren't as physical. I think really that had a lot to do with it. Just he was able to make those throws in 2018 and 2019. He didn't have the same – they didn't have the same level of physicality, and so they weren't able to make those catches like those guys were in 2018.
Jason Turner, of course, is a Utah State beat writer for the Herald Journal, joining us here. And, of course, you can follow him on Twitter at HJ Trebek on Twitter. You can follow him there. Jason, talk to me about Jordan as a leader. How is he on the field, in the locker room? How do guys react to him? Is he a guy that they gravitate to? Is he a guy that commands attention? Is he a quiet leader? Describe who Jordan Love is on and off the field as a leader.
Yeah, he's definitely a quiet leader. I think he definitely earned the respect of his teammates. I think they definitely respected him. Definitely not a rah-rah guy, very quiet. I mean, he's this way in press conference too. Just a kind of a low-key personality. I think even keeled is maybe the best way to describe him as a person. He never got too high in the big moments. When he had success, he never got too high. He never got too depressed, too low. And some of the mistakes that he made, he's just a really chill guy. I think maybe that's the best way to put it.
Okay. So, Jason, if you were an NFL team and you were thinking about this quarterback in the first, second, third round, fourth round, where do you think Jordan Love belongs, Jason?
Oh, I think the best situation for him would be to go to a place with an established quarterback where he could learn from that existing quarterback, the quarterback's coach. I think that's honestly the best scenario for him. Perfect fit team-wise, I honestly don't know if I can answer that, but I really think he would benefit from having at least a season or two to learn from a established signal caller.
Is he a first-round guy or a second-round guy? How do you see him?
I've heard anywhere from first to third round. I think the odds, I think it's very likely he's going to be taken in the first 3 rounds. There's some really good quarterbacks this year. I think I would think he'd probably be maybe a second or third round pick.
All right. What's your favorite Jordan Love moment that you've covered?
Favorite Jordan Love moment that I covered? Well, I think Aggie fans would probably – that's a tough one. Maybe that win at BYU in 2018 when they went to Provo and just boat race BYU, which they rarely do. Maybe the best moment from that game is when he kept the ball on the read option for a touchdown, and he kind of shushed the crowd there. I think it was in the third or the fourth quarter. They went up by, I don't know, 20, about 30 points. And, yeah, that was kind of the defining moment in that game.
So, wait a minute. He told the crowd to be quiet?
Well, he did it in a very low-key way. He just kind of put his finger to his lips after when he was rounding the end zone, yeah.
Hey, but for a low-key guy, that's not really a low-key moment to kind of give
true.
it back to the crowd. So it
was subtle. He did it in a subtle way, but the ESPN cameras caught it, so people knew.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. Okay. And by the way, smart guy too, right? Because he's a junior graduating with a degree already.
Yeah, well, he did redshirt his first year, so he was there for 4 years. But still, I mean, he got his degree in 4 years. That's definitely commendable.
Hey, listen, you don't have to be a football player. There's a lot of people on the 5 and 6 year plan, Jason.
Exactly. So, there's a lot of people on the Chris Farley plan. It's true.
That's right. They're on the Chris Farley plan. I like that. Follow him on Twitter at HJ Trebek. Hey, Jason, thank you for taking some time, my man. I really appreciate you catching up with us on Jordan Love. Hope to do it again sometime down the line. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go, Jason
All right,
Turner.
will do.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate it. From the Herald Journal, talking little Jordan Love. I like the kid. He's raw, but he's got a lot of ability, man. I mean, I've watched, I think it's 5 games this year. Every opportunity I got that I saw Utah State was on, I recorded it. I didn't watch them all live. But I would record it, and then I would make sure to watch it. And there are moments that you're like, wow. You're like, whoa. Like, he made that throw, and you're like, this is sick ability. That's what Jordan Love looks like sometimes. You're like, holy crap. Yeah, no, this is a guy we got to draft. You know, that kind of stuff. And I think because of remember, he's still green. And you've got to then teach him not to make the bad mistakes and teach him to be a little bit more patient and all that. And you don't really know if he's going to be able to do it. So it's a little bit of a risk. But, man, the talent is undeniable. Undeniable. Seriously. And he plays like a quarterback. That's the other thing. It's not like he's not an athlete trying to play quarterback. No. He's a quarterback. And he's got some athleticism, but he only uses it most of the time to try to make a pass. He's not the guy that, oh, there's nothing here, I'm running already. No. He's trying to be a quarterback first, and I like that a lot about him. Like, he's a legit drop-back passer, okay? Legit. Not a guy that he's a runner trying to become a quarterback and trying to figure it out and trying to have, no. He's a legit drop-back quarterback. I like him. I do. And I always thought, and bless you, I always thought it would be a second rounder for him. But, again, he just looks like the kind of cat. And let me tell you, in 2 weeks, we're going to see him at the Senior Bowl. If he has one of those Senior Bowl-like weeks that I've seen in the past, guaranteed first rounder. Okay? Seriously. That's the part that's going to suck. But that'll be the reality for the Dolphins. That's all. But there'll be plenty of options. Again, there's going to be other quarterbacks in this draft. It's not just Burrow and Tua. And I'm not a Herbert guy. Okay? No matter what, I ain't drafting Justin Herbert. I don't care. Really, I don't. I'm not a Herbert guy. There's no way I would spend my first-round pick on that guy. I don't buy him whatsoever. But there are other guys out there. Okay? Anthony Gordon's out there. Nate Stanley's out there. There's going to be a couple of other project guys. And one of those guys, I would not be surprised he ends up turning into, a real player. Let me see what we got on the YouTube chat board here. Esta Finn says, heck yeah, Big O. Judas Priest, you got that T-shirt locked down. Go Dolphins. Tua doesn't have those issues. He's surrounded by 4 and 5 stars. Let's see what else. Not Jordan Love in the first, says Liam Garcia. The beat writer is a hater. Myron says Tua will be a Dolphin. I guarantee it. Liam Garcia says Tua at 5 or trade down for more picks. You don't have to teach Tua any of those things. No, you're right. You're right. But you do have to maybe teach him how to walk again. Myron, let's see. No, that one's too Myron. What else do we have here? Big O drafting Tua with a medical concern and he doesn't pan out, a wasted pick, even if Tua's potential is pretty high. Do you want another should-have-picked situation to kick yourself? No, Joe, but do you want another Drew Brees? You tell me, Joe. We can play that game all you want. Like I said, I'm not big on drafting Tua in the first round. Okay? Listen to me. But if you do, and I completely understand it, I'm taking another quarterback in the second or third rounds. Okay? Where I have multiple picks again, I'm taking another QB if I take Tua. That's just me. Now, they may have another idea. They may think with Tua and Rosen they're fine, and they'll keep grooming Rosen while Tua tries to get healthy. If that's what they want to do, then so be it. But personally, if I draft Tua, I'm drafting another quarterback. I already told you guys last week, or 2 weeks ago I said this. I'm going Mike Shanahan and Jimmy Johnson on you. That's it. Shanahan was not convinced about RG3, and Jimmy Johnson was not a Troy Aikman fan. And both guys drafted somebody else to cover their ass because the owner loved RG3, so he drafted Kirk Cousins. And Gil Brandt and the personnel people loved Troy Aikman. Jimmy didn't, but he deferred to his personnel people, and he took Troy number one. And then once he saw Troy was the real deal, he then traded away Steve Walsh. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm taking a page out of those guys. And I'm doing exactly the same thing. That's all. That's how I'm going to handle it. So what I don't want is another Breeze. Oh, no, shoulder, worse than knee, which, you know what? 99% of the time, the shoulder is worse than the knee. But in this case, it wasn't. Because the part that you left out of the equation is you signed a quarterback that had to have a knee. Because without athleticism, Dante Culpepper was not the same guy anymore. And once he had the knee injury and he wasn't the same explosive player with his legs, he could not be the same quarterback for you because he was not a real pocket passer. That was a problem with Culpepper. And that's what happens with athletes when you're trying to convert them into quarterbacks. That becomes the problem, man. A major problem. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. And by the way, our program is brought to you by the Vape and Smoke Shop in West Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. That's right. Mention our show. You're going to get 10 to 20% off anything inside the entire store. So you're going to save 10 to 20. All depends on what you're going to buy, but you got to mention us. And again, the staff is awesome. They're courteous. They're knowledgeable. They're former European models, all that stuff. Call them 954-613-3367, folks. It's your one-stop shop for any and all vape and smoke shop needs and the knowledge and experience that you also need when you go shop for that. So 954-613-3367, or you can visit them on social media, Instagram and Facebook at VSS West Pines.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
All right, welcome back. Top of the hour, we're going to have Andy Behrens and a little fantasy basketball. The question is now, what is the future for Tom Brady? And yesterday, Brady addressed the retirement issue?
Love the Patriots. I mean, they obviously, they got it's the greatest organization, and, playing for Mr. Kraft all these years, and for Coach Belichick, there's nobody who's had a better career, I would say, than me, just being with them. So who knows what the future holds.
Is there any possibility that you would retire?
I would say it's pretty unlikely, but, yeah, hopefully unlikely.
Now, can I tell you what I think is going to go on? I think this is round 2 of this fight. Let me explain. There was a power struggle 2 years ago, and clearly the Garoppolo thing was not something that Brady wanted to be a part of, and he kind of got tired of dealing with the Garoppolo thing behind him, right? And Belichick ended up trading him basically for what he drafted him, which was really weird in itself, because you would figure he would get at least a first-rounder for Jimmy Garoppolo, and he didn't. And I still have a hard time believing that he couldn't have gotten a first-rounder for it. But to me, this is one of those things that the owner wanted him to get rid of him. And that's where Brady won the battle over Belichick on that. And they got rid of Garoppolo. And who knows, maybe Belichick was telling the owner, hey, we need to move on from Brady now. Because Belichick's that guy that likes to move on before you run out of gas. And maybe that's what he was already seeing in Brady. And the numbers already indicate that things are going in that direction for him as it is. You can already tell he doesn't move around the same way, and he doesn't deliver the ball with the same kind of mustard on it and all that. And I know he didn't have great talent around him this year. And more than ever now, he needs way better people around him to kind of be able to do his thing. But I think this is going to be a power struggle. This is going to be another one of those, hey, you want me to come back to New England? And the owner clearly wants him to come back to New England. If you read the Peter King article, he basically told him, I want him back badly. In fact, he wants him back, or he wants him to retire. He doesn't even want to see him in another uniform. But that's where I think Brady has some leverage. And then the question is, how much leverage and how much is he willing to maybe even create more of a problem between him and Belichick? Because if Brady leaves after this season, you're still with Belichick and you're good. If he plays 1 or 2 more years with the Patriots and then leaves, well, then you still have Belichick after that. So you got to be very careful how you tread through all of this. But Brady probably doesn't want to go through a season like he went through right now, where he didn't have enough weapons and took a beating and didn't look good and couldn't get the bye or any of that. So is he going to be telling the owner and Belichick, I need this, this, and this in order for me to come back? If you don't get this or this and this, then I'm not coming back and I'm going to another team. I have a feeling that that's why he's created all of this, because it's the best way for him to have leverage. In order for him to come back to the Patriots, he can now come back under his terms. Because if he was under contract, then he's under their terms, and he's pretty much at their, beck and call and whatever they're going to do. He has no choice. He has no decisions to make. Now he does. Now he has a decision on what you're going to pay him. Who are you bringing in? Who's going to be the offensive line? What weapons are you going to have for me? And if that isn't up to snuff for him, then he doesn't have to sign. And when you're that guy, your agent can then work behind the scenes and find out who else is interested. So then you use that as leverage too. And like I've told you a whole bunch of times, he can go to a couple of ready-made places. I'm telling you, the Bears would be Super Bowl contenders with Tom Brady. They just got to draft another lineman or two with whatever picks they have left, because I know your Bears don't have a first-round pick, right? But they have a second-rounder, right? No, they don't have a second either? So they what? Are they third is their first pick? They can still get a lineman there.
We are missing a 1 and a 3 this year.
Okay,
Gave
so
up the 1 and 2
so the
last
second
year.
you can get a lineman in the second round, and you can get a lineman in free agency. You know, that's probably the only thing the Bears really need in the end for Brady. Just shore up the line a little bit more, which is probably what they need to do, and that's it. It's over. You got exactly what you need with Brady. That's a ready-made team right there. So I think that's what's going to go on. I think it's going to be a power struggle now. That, I want to come back, but I want to come back. I need this, 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 and this. And then the conversations between Kraft and Belichick get really, really interesting. So I think this is all, he saw what was going on with Garoppolo, and he almost got strong-armed with that, and he was able to push Garoppolo out and get him traded because he got the owner on his side. And he wants to avoid this down the stretch because he knows that Belichick is trying to, prepare for the future. But he also knows the owner wants Brady more than anything else to finish his career with the Patriots. Leverage, man. This is the only way Tom Brady has it. So I think now that I've kind of come up with this theory, I think it's really he stays. I don't think he ends up anywhere else. I think he stays. And by the way, that's the best place for him to go. Stay in New England. They know you there. You got to go somewhere else. They've got to get to know you, and you got to step into a ready-made team. You hope so. But then you've got to learn everything about everybody all over again. That's a lot, man. And when you don't have a lot of time, that's why ultimately, look, as a Dolphin fan, I want him to go away. I want this thing to, but I know my Dolphins aren't ready to take over the division next year anyway. So if he comes back for one more year, hurrah with the Patriots, I don't care, whatever. Flores has already kind of figured you out already. So he beat you with no talent. He'll be better in the next coming years with more talent. Not worried about it. If Flores can go up to Foxborough and beat the Patriots in a game they desperately needed, I'm feeling pretty good about our Dolphins. I'm all right. I'm all right. But I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a power struggle. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, you guys are just chatting with yourselves on the but that's good. I'm glad. Nice to see everybody kind of, talking with each other. All right, let me tell you a little bit about Pallet Rack City. I love great racks. Don't you love great racks? I mean, they make everything look so beautiful. A great rack, you don't want to go into your warehouse and it's all unorganized. You thought I was talking about the other rack, right? No, those racks are great too. But listen, organize your warehouse, okay? Call Pallet Rack City. Call Eddie Pineda right now. Straighten out your business. 305-887-9212. Largest used racking inventory in South Florida. They buy and sell new and used pallet racking. The place to go. You want a great rack? You go to Pallet Rack City, your one-stop shop for all of your warehouse needs. They specialize in knockdowns and installations of your warehouse equipment. So call Eddie Pineda right now. Pick up the phone. 305-887-9212. Save it on that cell phone, 305-887-9212 for Pallet Rack City. All right, we got Panthers last night. They defeat Pittsburgh, and Chris Dreger, by the way, was the goalie in hand, having a game that you want Bob to have with 31 saves, allowing one goal. I'd love to get excited. I know it was Pitt, and it was a sweet win. But they're the team that then loses to Arizona next. So let's go, Panthers. Come on. Show me something. Show me you got it. Show me you can finally put it together. The owners have spent a ton of money. All right? There's a Hall of Fame coach. Supposedly a badass goaltender that we haven't seen yet. He's flashed, but he, hasn't really shown up on a full-time basis yet. Show me. Help me get excited. Please. I want to get excited about my Panthers. And I loved it last night. Beating Pittsburgh was cool. Heat last night over the Blazers. Love it. Hassan Whiteside was in town. We're going to have David Wilson. He's going to join us at 2 o'clock. Did I say Andy Barron's at 2? No, Andy Barron's at 2:30. 2 o'clock will be David Wilson. He was covering Hassan Whiteside yesterday. And Whiteside, by the way, was when he played yesterday, the fans started chanting, "We got shooters," which was so awesome, by the way. I got to congratulate the Heat fans out there. That is probably one of the most creative chants that a Miami fan base has ever had. I mean, we got shooters. That's all. Because when Whiteside signed with the Portland, he put out on a Instagram post, "We got shooters." And everybody took that as a shot at the Heat because they really didn't have a lot of shooters the last couple of years. Not like this year where they're loaded with shooters. And so Whiteside kind of took it a little. He goes, "I didn't mind the boos, but I did kind of mind the 'We got shooters' chant because I didn't mean it as a shot at my ex-teammates," which, by the way, I think he's full of crap. Here's Hassan Whiteside after the game.
I don't have any bitterness towards the Heat or anything. Like I said, I grew up, I kind of feel like I became an NBA player here. I feel like I faced the trial and tribulations of the NBA coming here, from ups and downs to the highs to the lows, things like that. Like, I'll never forget.
Yeah, right. You were a complete low, dude. But you got your, what did you get yesterday? 18 points, 14 rebounds. What was it that he had? 21 points, 18 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Lost like dogs, but I'm sure he's loving his stat line, because that's all that matters to Whiteside, his money and his stat line. He doesn't care about anything else. And you were taking a shot at the guys. Maybe in hindsight you realized that it was taking a shot at the guys. You probably thought at the moment you were taking a shot at the Heat, but you were also taking a shot at your ex-teammates. But don't worry, Hassan. Everybody knows you're a knucklehead. Everybody knows you're immature. And most people know you're probably too dumb to figure things out anyway. Okay? So, Hassan, you should take it personal. You're not liked here. You stole money, basically. All right? Now, it's not all your fault. Unfortunately, I got to blame Pat Riley. He's the one that screwed up in signing you. But that was that chant, "We got shooters," that was awesome. That was awesome because, Hassan, we got shooters too. Goran Dragic shot 7 of 10 from three-point range. Just want you to know. Miles Leonard can hit a 3. Derrick Jones. How about Derrick Jones Jr. yesterday? 19 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, 2 blocks, and 2 assists. That kid is just turning into a heck of a player. Bam shot 9 of 10 from the field for 20 points. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, and a block. Now, no C.J. McCullough yesterday. He was probably having a little wine, but Lillard did play. And Melo. Melo played. He was 3 of 11, 0 of 4 from three-point range, 11 points in 31 minutes. I'm sorry. No, he's averaging 31 minutes on 42% shooting, 39% from three-point range, 16 points, and 6 rebounds. And I'm sure the Portland Trail Blazers are extremely happy that they signed him. I talk about an organization that you got one of the best backcourts in the NBA. You got a young center in Nurkic. I know he's injured now, and that's why they traded for White Bum. And look, I'm glad they traded for White Bum. I'm glad we got rid of White Bum's ass out of here. I mean, you got to get him out of here, so I'm glad. But this is a team that was pretty good and pretty competent overall. And in one off season, they acquire Whiteside and Melo. Just wow. If the Heat did that, I'd be laughing and ripping them for it. I mean, how would you do that? I mean, I rip them anyway for the Whiteside deal. Can you imagine you're also signing Melo? And there have been times that some of you Heat fans wanted Melo. Yeah, which I never understood that. Now, as the years went on, most of you kind of said, no, I'm not. No Melo, which, nice. And don't forget, folks, speaking of this, make sure you hit the thumbs up for the show. We want to get it as much exposure as possible, get it trending as much as possible. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So as you're watching, share. Also, tell folks we're on every day at 11 a.m., except Fridays. Fridays, we have 2 shows. Fridays, we're on 9 to 11 at Zinn, at Craig Zinn Acura. And then in the afternoon, we're at Hialeah Park 1 to 4. So we do 5 hours on Friday, not 4 like we do the rest of the week. The rest of the week is 11 to 3. Okay, in a perfect world, that's kind of where we would like our schedule to be. I don't know. I mean, Bill's trying to convince me to, do it at 4 in the morning. I don't know, he's inspired to wake up like at 2:30 or something. I don't know why, but I'm trying to convince him that's not a good idea. So we're trying to stay away from the 4 a.m. start. Okay? I just told him, it might be hard to get a couple people to listen at that time. That's all. Unless they're on the other side of the world or something like that. Carmelo should stay retired. What a bum. Not if you ask him, Myron. He's doing 16-6, baby. Steve Neal, we got shooters, LOL. It was a great, one of the best chants ever for a Miami fan base. Right? Hey, do we put Sammy Sucks right up there with that one? I kind of felt bad for Sammy. I was in the Orange Bowl that day when he fumbled twice into the end zone against the Oilers, and then the chant started with Sammy Sucks, Sammy Sucks. I literally felt bad for Sammy Smith that day.
Kind of a fan of Ref You Suck.
Yeah, but
and then them coming over the PA announcement and this game has now been picked up nationally. Please conduct yourself accordingly.
Yeah.
That was us, man.
Yeah. But the Ref You Suck is something that everybody does.
But we originated that. And we were told over the PA.
No, but we didn't originate Ref You Suck.
Was it that during the Jets? No, but this goes back to that Jets game.
Ref You Suck is decades old, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. This goes back to the Orange Bowl. Us.
Yeah, but I don't
think.
The
Jets. Yes, and them saying, please, this game just got picked up nationally.
I don't know if you're right.
They're hearing you. Please conduct yourself accordingly.
Maybe you're right.
That's us, bro.
But I've never heard anybody say that we invented Ref You Suck. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we're the originator. I remember being there and them saying, please.
No, I remember that.
We're being watched.
I remember hearing about that, but I don't remember us ever being. I don't know where that originated from.
I want to say that was the Jets game. Uwe von Schaman, the 51-yarder or whatever it was. We beat them 48-45 or some 51-48, some score like that.
Yeah. Dougie Fresh says, Big O, what's your opinion on the bell cow running back? Can they still work like it did for the Titans? Yeah, it can work. Of course it can. Yes. There are a couple of those freaks that you can do it. Now, I mean, Henry is – but that guy's so enormous, bro. That's just not a normal running back. There's nothing normal about Derrick Henry. Guy's a beast, man. That guy alone eliminated the damn Patriots. How impressive is that? That guy's so good, it only required the quarterback to make 2 throws. The 1 touchdown pass and the 3rd down to Fisker. And that's it. That's all Ryan had to do the entire game was make 2 throws.
Give some props to that O-line, man.
I know.
Let me tell you. In the first half, I think he had 2 runs. One was a 2-yarder, and the one was a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Other than that, it was 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 a carry.
And let me tell you something.
Wow.
Tannehill was awesome in handing off the football. I mean, awesome. Did you see how he handed off that ball to Derrick Henry? That was amazing, bro. Wow. He threw an interception. He had a fumble. He tried to Tannehill it. He tried to Tannehill it. He couldn't Tannehill it, but he tried. He tried. I tell you. Oh, man. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. That's the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. So, did you guys hear what's going on now here in America? I mean, let me tell you something. I've been married now 25 years. In a month and a half, by the way, it'll be 26 years, okay? A little more than a month, about 2 months and a half, actually. It'll be 26 years that I'm married. Been with the same woman for 31 years. So I think I've been with the same person a pretty long time, right? And I got to tell you something, Bill. This is a time where I don't envy you because you're single. I don't think single is a good time to be right now in this country, and especially in the month of January 2020. Do you know why, Bill? Do you know what the latest craze is now?
Oh, what are they up to now, man?
It is not January. It is January. That's right. Women all over are saying, free the hair. That's right. In January, women are going to let their body hair grow. So women are flashing underarms with hair, legs with hair. Okay? I just want, listen, first of all, ladies, I just want you to know that that is nothing that to be proud of. Okay? All right? Because we shave too. We shave our faces. We shave our ear. Do you want me to let the hair grow out of my ears so then I'm walking around like this? You want my nose hairs? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Ladies, it's a good thing to shave. Welcome to the jungle. Come on. What the hell is going on here? I mean, there's nothing wrong with shaving, ladies. Yeah, we like passing our hands through a nice smooth leg, right? Are you sticking your tongue in his ear and there's a whole bunch of hair? Is your tongue like going through the hair to get into the ear hole? Huh? How's that working out for you, ladies? I don't think you're going to no. It's so sexy. Your ear hair is so sexy. Yeah. In fact, I can put the ones off your earlobe in a braid if you want. Really? Is that what you want? Is that what we should do too? Just let it go, guys. We're all walking around, hair everywhere. Forget it. We look like Nick Nolte after, getting arrested. Disheveled. If you don't know that picture, just go find Nick Nolte arrested and just look at that picture. And then there you go. Is that really what you guys want? There's nothing freedom about that, ladies. Okay? Nothing at all. There's a reason why we all shave. There's a reason why we all cut our hair. Okay? That's why we trim our nose hairs, ear hairs, all that stuff. Face. I shave today. I trim my beard. I think it's a good thing. Oh, by the way, lots of guys now, they also shave down there too. They don't want. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Right? And there are a lot of ladies that don't like going to the jungle anymore. There are a lot of ladies that don't like chest hair. Guys shave chest hair. A lot of you millennial chicks, you don't like the chest hair. The older ladies, like my age, they're into the chest hair, a lot of them, because they grew up in that era. So shaving is a good thing, okay? Ladies, January is not a good idea, all right? I just want you to know. Listen, you know what January was for? Is when I used to go to the carnival and the ape woman was there, and you went to go see the ape woman in the tent. Did you ever do that? Did you ever go pay to see the ape woman? You never did that?
When we were little, we went and saw the lady that was a spider, and seeing the mirrors and all that crap, and I never did that again.
Oh, come on, the two-headed lizard.
It's a waste. It's a waste of
The
tickets.
three-neck
You could go on the Super
snake.
Loop a couple more times for that. It's the same as a Super Loop ride.
Remember the hairy woman, what it was?
I'd rather go
What it
upside
was a
down.
woman that was, and then all of a sudden there was like this change, and then she broke through, but it was more like a video, and then people would dart out of the tent. You can't do that nowadays, but that was a different time back then.
Special effects were pretty sorry. So.
Yeah, but back then you were like tripping with it anyway. You were still going with it. It was cool. But January is not a good idea, ladies. I just want you to know that. Okay? I think it was started by a couple women that were pissed they were married with hairy guys or something. I don't know. They wanted to get revenge. So let's just create January. Let's scare the crap out of them like they scare the crap out of us. Well, not all of us do that, okay? Some of us like to shave. All right? January. Give me a break. The hell is wrong with you people? January. So the Cowboys have hired Mike McCarthy as the new head coach. How about that? Now, we've talked about this several times, right? I'm not a fan of the way the Cowboys do things. It's a shame because you got a great window of opportunity. I think Mike McCarthy is actually a pretty good coach, but he is going to go in there with the same problem that all the other coaches have, and that is the locker room is not going to respect you. I see the people in ESPN or Talking Heads or people, well, Mike McCarthy's highly respected and won a Super Bowl and this and that, and they won't care in that locker room because they know Jerry's in charge. And so anything that Mike says is not going to have the same authority as long as Jerry's holding the last word press conference. And that's what it is. It's the last word every single time. And the media runs to him. It's like when I had Todd Archer on the other day that he covers the Cowboys for ESPN NFL Nation. He goes, don't get me wrong. I know that these may not be the best thing for them, but I don't want them to end. And I love that about Todd because he wasn't going to be a hypocrite or a two-face and say, well, it's not the right thing to do. And meanwhile, he's there enjoying it because it gives you all kinds of headlines. He was honest about it. And, yeah, it's great for the media because it just magnifies the dysfunction. And here is Troy Aikman talking about it.
The organization was unwilling to come out publicly and say that we are seeking a new coach. And yet, at the same time, reports are coming out that they're interviewing potential new candidates for the head coaching position. It's disappointing. I think in a lot of ways it shines a light on some of the dysfunction, if you will, within the organization and kind of how they got to the point they're in now.
Right, and I can't disagree with him because that's all it is. Even if you told Garrett behind the scenes, dude, publicly you're hanging him out to dry. It looks so bad how you not have moved on and you're searching for another coach. We all know you've moved on, but dude, just say it at least. Address it and then move on and then go have – you're entitled. You're the owner, bro. I don't – what is it that you don't want to say he's fired because the dad worked for you for many years as a scout? Is that what it is? It's insulting the way you're doing it. But again, they don't care. And this is why you get the results that you're going to get. And Mike McCarthy's not going to have any kind of pull in that organization. They can tell you whatever they want. It's Jerry's show. And as long as it's Jerry's show, and he's never going to step down, I get it. But nothing's going to change with the Cowboys. This hire will mean it's a shame because Mike McCarthy is a pretty good coach and is a guy that maybe could make a difference. But if he's not respected in that locker room, it's just not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Can't expect it. What are you going to do? Let's see. Jerry Gonna Jerry, Armed Ape says, you are correct, sir. Drubo says, I care about the racks, Big O. You better care about them racks. I love racks. Ladies, you realize that when you stop shaving after years of doing it, it's not peach fuzz that's coming back. Ooh. Let's see what else. Free the hair. We don't care. Come on, man. Seriously, dude? You want hairy legs?
That guy's from France, bro.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. No, dude. No, I can't. I can't go with the hairy legs, bro. No way. There's no way I can go with the hairy legs.
I can remember
hairy underarms.
Being in Martin County, we had some exchange students, and they were from France. And sitting there, and we're at the party and this, and like everybody, and like, man, she looks pretty good, this, that. I'm like, do you realize that chick probably has as much body hair as you do, bro? Do you really want to go there, man?
That happened to me in Paris. I was 18 years old. I'm in Paris. I'm at a club in Paris. And I was, just in case if you're wondering, well, he's 18, what's he doing in a club? I've been going to clubs since I was 15. I had a beard. Okay? When I was 15, I had a beard. Speaking of hair. Anyway, so 18, I'm in a club, and I meet this really pretty girl. Hot, man. I'm telling you, smoking hot. Really pretty girl. So we're talking, and we're trying to talk. She spoke a little English.
You were saying French fry, French salad dressing.
I spoke no French. Nothing. And so we're just trying to communicate and whatever. And so I go and get us a couple of drinks. And I come back, and I put the drinks down. And I watch her reach for the drink. And as she reaches, it's the first time I notice there's hair under the arms. All right. I'm 18, so this is 1984, right? This is, a long time ago. So, different world. Back in 84, to see a woman with hair under her arms, that was freaky, dude, okay? And especially for an 18-year-old, you're not used to that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I have to say that did freak me out a little bit. Yeah.
You could have done the Pee Wee Herman, man. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that did a number on me, I got to say. All right, we are done with this hour. We are going to get David Wilson on from the Miami Herald. We're going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little Miami Heat basketball. The Heat won last night against the Blazers. They beat Melo. They beat Whiteside. David Wilson was on the Whiteside beat. He covered the petulant child. Let's find out how David Wilson handled the petulant child from the Portland Trail Blazers. Thank the Lord he's no longer here. Hour number 4, the final hour of the program. Also, Andy Behrens at 2:30 for a little fantasy basketball. That's all next right here on the Big O Radio Show.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are ready to talk a little Miami Heat basketball. Last night, a nice win against the Blazers, 122-111. They bounced back once again. I believe they're 10-0 now after losses. So they, along with the Milwaukee Bucks, are the only teams in the NBA to not lose back-to-back games. So the question is, which team will be first? Will it be Miami or Milwaukee to lose back-to-back games? David Wilson has the answer to everything. That's why the Herald hired him, to cover everything in sports, because he knows everything. And, of course, if you want to follow the man that knows everything, David Wilson, you got to do what I do. DB Wilson 2. And, of course, catch his work at your doorstep or online at Herald Sports. David, good afternoon, Mr. I Know Everything.
Thanks. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so, David, last night, I got to say, all right, David, I know you're younger than I am. And South Florida fans, I'm not going to say they're the most creative. I'm not going to say they're the Cameron crazies that come up with all kinds of creative stuff over the years. They're probably number one in all of pro sports or college sports, period. But I got to say, we got shooters last night. That had to have been one of the most creative chants ever by a South Florida audience in a sports environment. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, it was pretty great, especially considering the reputation the Heat crowd has sometimes of being, late to arrive, sometimes a little bit more casual. You can see guys are trying to get it going all game long. You kind of hear it sprouting out, a couple people in the section, and then by the end of the game, it finally caught on, and Hassan was not happy about it after the game.
Well, you, of course, had the assignment of covering the petulant child that is Hassan Whiteside yesterday. So first of all, walk us through his demeanor after the game, after a loss. Was he just happy about his stats?
He always, I wouldn't say he was happy about his stats, even though, he's, he likes putting up his numbers, and, he obviously it helps the team to a degree. But yeah, he actually, after the game, I think the first question was basically did you expect that reception? And he was I kind of basically said yeah, he gets the boos, guys get booed, but the we got shooters, he kind of went on and on about that, basically saying he felt like people misinterpreted it, saying that he was saying it more about his team, but it was what it was when he said it. It was pretty clear that the Heat didn't have good shooters last year. I mean, that's just a fact. They have great shooters this year. So he can say it was just about the Blazers, but it's no secret that he was pretty happy about the trade that happened in July.
It's equivalent to Bill Clinton telling us, no, I didn't inhale.
Yeah,
you
technically
toke from
true, right? But
you toke from the joint, but you didn't inhale. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
How stupid are we here on this one? And with Whiteside, see, the thing about Whiteside is, forget about what we think, dude. Forget about the media. Forget about the fans. It's your teammates, whether your ex-teammates, whether you like it or not. They know it was an insult at them. That's the way they're going to take it when they see that post that you took a shot at them, right? I mean, that's the part I don't think that gets to him. He's more worried about what we think. He should be more worried about what his ex-teammates think.
Yeah, I mean, I think and Spo was pretty – Spo and the former – some of the former teammates who are still around, pretty clear, there is kind of a charm to Hassan. He's not a bad guy. He,
right.
He can be funny. He, for all the crap he kind of gets is maybe not having a great work ethic. He came a long way from when he was out of the league, and in a lot of ways, he was a major success story here, even if it didn't end well and had its ups and downs. But, yeah, I mean, he is – yeah, I mean, you can – guys, even if they're not outwardly saying, like, they were insulted by Hassan saying we got shooters, I mean, you can just, you know, just being in that locker room on a daily basis, it's a happy group. And, you know, I don't know if they're reveling in the fact that the Blazers are struggling this year. But I mean, they had a massive turnaround, and it all started with the Hassan trade. You know, not just because it cleared the space for Jimmy Butler and for them to go out and get some of these shooters. Obviously, Myers Leonard has been one of the best shooters in the league. He's the guy they got back for him. But it also, you know, Bam is kind of the one of the guys who wasn't super like outspoken about about his friendship with Hassan. You know, they obviously have a good relationship. They played together for a couple of years, but I mean, he's thriving because Hassan is gone. Like, he's getting the playing time that Hassan was getting, and he is has the role that I think the Heat basically, you know, the biggest reason they shipped out Hassan was because it opened things up for Jimmy Butler, but reason 1B was because they thought Bam was ready to take this step forward.
I'm with you there. Here's Whiteside yesterday.
I don't have any bitterness towards the Heat or anything. Like I said, I grew up, I kind of feel like I became an NBA player here. I feel like I faced the trial and tribulations of the NBA coming here, from ups and downs to the highs to the lows, things like that. Like, I'll never forget.
And listen, what I want to know, David, is how was he after the game when the Heat beat him? The Heat has shooters. The Heat is a much better team than Portland is right now, which is probably something he did not expect. Hell, we didn't expect the Heat to be this good as they are right now. So was he asked about what he thought about the Heat and how good they are now compared to when he was on the team? Was that asked of him?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing he actually mentioned at pregame is, you know, 4 of the usual 5 starters they've been using since Justice has been out. So the lineup that's Nunn, Jimmy, Duncan, Bam, and Myers, he never even played with 4 of those 5 guys, which is, you know, it's a totally different team really than when he was here less than 6 months ago. But, you know, he got asked specifically about Bam, and he kind of dodged around the question of, like, you know, did you see this coming for Bam? But, you know, he's obviously really impressed with the way he's developed. I think he and Goran have a pretty good relationship from what I can tell. And, you know, he's definitely happy to see Goran, you know, healthy, and he was the guy who kind of led that victory last night. So, you know, he said Spo said he still roots for Hassan. Hassan said he still keeps up with the Heat. So, you know, I don't know if I think he's happy with what he's doing in Portland, you know, getting the playing time that he always wanted, putting up the number, you know, he's putting up all-star level numbers if you just look at the raw numbers. So really, ultimately, just knowing what I know about Hassan, knowing, you know, what he wants, you know, what his goals are to a large extent, it was really a trade that obviously worked out well for the Heat. And I think even if the Blazers are struggling, at least worked out well for Hassan, where he gets kind of what he wants.
David Wilson from the Miami Herald covering the Miami Heat yesterday against the Portland Trail Blazers. You could follow him on Twitter at DBWilson2. David, was there any talk amongst you guys in the media that, you know, Hassan, like you just said, was putting up good numbers, and I'm sure Portland's happy about that because they may try to move him by the deadline because they're going to get Nurkic back. And once they get Nurkic back, then they'll have to deal with, you know, giving less minutes to Hassan, and that's not going to be a situation they want to be involved in. How much talk of that was going on amongst the media yesterday?
Not much specifically about that, but I think there's a clear feeling, you know, just watching the Blazers in person, there's just a clear feeling that they're about to hit kind of a point where the Heat were last year. You know, they've had more success, obviously, than the last iteration of the Heat had, but they're at a point where they're going to have to make tough decisions, whether it's, you know, coaching change or trades, you know, because they have, it sort of feels like hit their ceiling for what this Lillard, CJ McCollum fueled roster can do. You know, bringing in Hassan was supposed to maybe kind of fuel that, give them a different sort of dimension. different even than what Nurkic brought them. But between the injuries they've had and just the fact that the West is the West is reshaped, where the two LA teams are the clear class of the Western Conference. Houston is still good. Oklahoma City has been a pleasant surprise, and they have all the they're in position with all the picks they have to shape themselves into a contender potentially soon, given what Sam Presti can typically do on the trade market. And then Dallas is emerging. I mean, it just feels like the time has kind of passed Portland by, which is crazy because they were just in the Western Conference Finals last year. But nothing specifically about whether Hassan will get tipped, but they feel like a team that is going to be active. If not this trade deadline, then into the offseason if they miss out on the playoffs, and it's headed that way.
Follow him on Twitter at DBWilson2 for the Miami Herald. He does excellent work covering many things because he is all-knowing. That's what it's all about. So what do you think, Mr. All-Knowing? Will the Heat make a move before the trading deadline? What does Mr. All-Knowing David Wilson think?
My gut says no, because the salaries they have that are first of all, I don't think I think those young guys are pretty much untouchable. Like, yes. Obviously Tyler Hero is untouchable. Kendrick Nunn has played himself into that category. I think Duncan is really valuable. I think Derek Jones is he would have been maybe the one guy from that young group that was like, maybe you can flip him because he is a free agent this upcoming off season, but he's really kind of carved out his niche and become a little bit of a fan favorite too. And then the really tradable contracts you have are Deion Waiters and James Johnson, like the guys whose salaries are kind of the ones that are easier to move. The non-max guys, and then the non-minimum guys or small contract guys. And those guys are just tough to move. Although James Johnson did get back in the rotation last night. He played really well. Looks like he might honestly have a role moving forward, although Justice coming back could potentially change the rotation again. And he seems like he's getting closer.
And you know what, David? You know what, David, where I agree with you on there, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but where I agree with you is the Heat just doesn't have enough to trade. Like, if Justice was kicking ass and healthy, that would have been the guy you can move because he's the guy you really don't need. The emergence of Derek Jones Jr. is what allows you to get rid of Justice because Derek plays all kinds of defensive players and offensively actually is better skilled than Justice. So Justice helps you out I love Justice as a glue guy, but he's not going to help you offensively. And because he's been so injury prone, you have lost all value in trying to move him, and you don't have picks. So to me, I don't think the Heat have that opportunity. And like you just started with that statement, the young guys are untouchable. So what are you going to do? Trade those?
Yeah, it's a mix of either veterans underperforming, specifically Deion and James Johnson, or max, untouchable star level guys like Jimmy and Bam, or those guys whose contracts are just so friendly that you'd be foolish to part with them, considering the ceiling of a guy like Tyler Hero. So
they're so good.
Right.
I mean,
Justice would be the one guy that makes sense because he's a little redundant with Jimmy. Because of Bam's emergence as the second star, you're basically waiting on one of Justice or Bam to hit to be that second star, and then you go find a third one. But yeah, the injury has complicated things. And then I think, they're always creative. So I'm never going to rule anything out. I'm shocked they have Jimmy Butler right now, given where we would have been saying this time last year with how their salary cap was all clogged up. But the logical, the smart, easy solution is wait it out. You've got this young group that's going to grow, and then, everyone wants Giannis to come in 2021, and that's theoretically what I think the average franchise would be waiting on. But they're always creative. So I'll never rule anything out. If they go out and get Drew Holiday or something, and with the intention of him being around and figuring out how the salary structure can work to then have a Drew Holiday, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Giannis or some other superstar. Like, I won't rule anything out with this team at this point. But it's just the way their contracts are structured with underachieving vets and really impressive, untouchable young guys. It seems unlikely. Like, the smart money is to not bet on a trade.
I'm with you there. David Wilson does excellent work for the Miami Herald. Follow him on Twitter, DBWilson2. David, as always, thank you for taking some time, man. Always appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
My pleasure, my man. There you go. David Wilson. Happy New Year. I don't know. Can I say that on January 6th? I haven't seen him forever.
What I said, dude, if you haven't talked to the guy and, blah, and it's still within a week or so,
I mean, Happy New Year, bro.
okay.
I don't want to be rude, I want to be grateful.
You get in the middle
grateful.
of the
He took time to join us, and
get in the middle
he
of
covered
the week.
something important yesterday that was kind of, fun, and it was one of the great chants. Any of you out there that were part of that chant last night at the arena, awesome. I tip my hat that I don't have to you, okay? That is just, we got shooters. That was so great. That was so great. And Lord knows the Heat has shooters, man. That's a good thing. That is a lot of fun to watch, the way that they can shoot the ball. By the way, we ended up going 3-1 in our NFL picks. Okay? I know we didn't win our 14 parlay or whatever the hell, but I still went 3-1 in my picks. Didn't you have about the same record?
Yeah, the New Orleans Saints killed me.
I lost the.
You lost.
No, I won the Tanny. I lost the Tannehill.
You lost the Tannehill.
I lost the Tannehill. That's the one I lost because I won Houston. I won the Eagles game, and I won the Vikings game. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't think any of us won because the three.
No,
of us
we always
together
leave something
Philly.
out. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got a nice giveaway coming on the show, by the way. As you know me, I'm multitasking while we're talking. Yes. All right, we will announce tomorrow. We will have we will do it, man. I like it. I like it. I can announce it right now. Okay. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to New Order. Okay. So, there you go. How about that? All right. Okay.
Which night? Because you said there is an acoustic night one night.
Yes. We are going to give out I'm telling my man now.
Oh, you're stipulating
yes
the non-acoustic night?
Yeah.
Well, you could also find out for us.
Yeah, we're not going to go to that night.
No.
No. Yeah, but we will go. We will be there.
Maybe, too, if they change up the set. You think they will?
No, dude, they're terrible.
They do the same cookie-cutter crap.
They don't even
even with you doing an extended 4-day stay like that, you would think they would change it up, right?
Well, they did. Well, they are with an acoustic set, but
that doesn't qualify as a change up to me.
Hey, listen, my favorite band doesn't do it either, and I hate it. Iron Maiden. I love Maiden.
Yeah,
to
but
death.
you know something with
You can
all their
wa-
stage set and everything choreographed, with all the props they bring out.
Okay.
Man, you know what I mean?
Okay. Can I have the rebuttal now? Are you ready? Are you ready? U2 does the same thing, but then there's a part in their stage show that's just them on stage with just lights. And they changed up on that last tour, because I was there, they changed up 2 of their songs. You might have heard something different during that 4 or 5 song set. That's where they hid that's where they would change up 1 or 2 songs from their tour. Not a lot, only 1 or 2.
But isn't that standard for you too? They usually have.
No, not always.
They usually do a couple.
No, not all.
Change out.
No. I've seen them where they've done the same set.
But
they do change.
Just a couple songs.
They do change, But what I'm saying is, I've seen tours where they have done the same set the next night and all that, but recently, everything's choreographed too. I mean, super choreographed, bro. Their choreographed stuff is, I mean, they take it to another level. I've never seen anything like this.
No, when they did that
active
live music video thing that they did the walkthrough.
They did it.
That was amazing.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking exactly about that because they have 3 stages. They have the stage in the middle that they're in the screen. Then they have the stage on the corner on the front of the arena, and then they have the regular main stage. So when they go back, the one here is already set. The one here is already set. The one back here, that's where they would change.
That's like the night we were at the Forum and they were at that little
Yeah.
round top
Yeah.
thing.
See, that's why you love The Cure and Pearl Jam. Because The Cure and Pearl Jam, they just have lights. You know? And nothing's choreographed. It's just images, lights, whatever. And it doesn't have to really go with everything. And then Robert Smith and company, they play whatever the F they want. Okay? Like I tell people, I remember this like it's yesterday. I went to go see The Cure 2 nights in a row, 54 different songs in 2 nights. I went to go see Pearl Jam at the AAA and at the BB&T Center, 57 different songs in 2 nights.
Supposedly, we're going to get that with Metallica.
Yes.
At Rockville. 2 totally. All different songs.
Pearl Jam did repeat a couple songs, and so did The Cure a couple songs. Metallica's doing 2 completely different sets. I mean, you can do that when you're Metallica, when you're U2, when you're, The Cure and Pearl Jam.
You have to have a plethora of songs.
Yeah, you have
to
so
pull
much.
that off.
I mean, it's like when you go see Billy Joel, and he's like, all right, do you want me to play this or this? And he does it like 15 times. And it's because, and then when he's done with the concert, you walk out and go, man, he didn't play this, 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 and this. And it's like because it's Billy freaking Joel.
That's Elton John. Same thing.
Yeah.
I walked out and it was like Philadelphia Freedom.
Oh,
the guy
for
was on stage for 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm complaining about 1 song.
Yeah, but that's, because when you're that good, man. You can do it. You can play it. U2 change all the time in their tours. They do, but not. I've seen them where they play the same set the next night. I have. I've seen it because I know because I've traveled and I've watched them do tours. Every tour that they come, I see them multiple times. I don't see U2 just once. I see them multiple times. But I do appreciate that in the last tour they did change up. It was either 1 or 2 because I saw them 4 times, and they did change up some. That was cool, and I appreciate that. But nothing like The Cure and Pearl Jam. That's the bomb right there. The only thing that tops that is Dave Matthews and Fish. That you will never see the same concert, period, from those guys. They just go up there and just jam. Apparently, Willie Nelson does that too. Like the Willie Nelson band has to know the catalog because they don't go up with a set list. Did you know that? Willie Nelson doesn't go up with a set list. He just, I'm going to play this. And then they just all join in.
The thing I've heard about Dave Matthews, they'll have a set list idea, and in the middle of the concert,
It's
literally on the fly,
right
there, change it.
Fish does that too. Fish is also one of those bands. They're jam bands. That's what they're called, basically. All right, let's tell you a little bit about Toyota of Hollywood. We love talking about Toyota of Hollywood. Steve Ostrov, Herbie Lopez, all the great guys out there at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Listen, my mother-in-law has this beautiful Corolla she bought a couple years ago from Herbie. I just got a Camry, all right? Listen, I would never tell you to go buy or lease a vehicle where I wouldn't do it myself. That's why you got to get on down to Toyota of Hollywood, man. And it's easy. 1841 North State Road 7, right there, a couple blocks south of that big, giant, beautiful guitar off the turnpike, folks. Toyota of Hollywood.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Codsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Codsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we promised you time to talk a little fantasy basketball. We do it every Monday at this time. Andy Behrens from Yahoo Fantasy is always ready to join us here on the program. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on Tua Day. I thought this might be too great, at least a local holiday to involve fantasy basketball.
Well, it was 2 hours ago, so we kind of were able to get through. See, the beauty of what we're doing now is in regular radio, dude, I would have to be repeating this and talking about it over and over again. Whereas now we just talk about it, we give our thoughts, boom, boom, boom. It's over. We move on to the next subject. We podcast it, and if they want to hear it, they can go to the podcast. And we just move on to the next subject and the next subject and the next subject. So it's kind of refreshing, this format, because I don't have to repeat it. Somebody wants to hear it, well, you know that it's podcasted. Go get the podcast. Plus, our guys, they individualize all these things, like your segment. You know it. Your segment gets podcasted, separately. So that way, the guy that just wants to hear about fantasy football or basketball that we're doing with you, that's it. He doesn't have to hear the whole show if he doesn't want to. You know what I mean? Or she doesn't want to. So that's.
Oh, I gotcha. Exciting day though, all around.
Yes, it is, and not shocked that he's actually leaving. It's actually the smart thing to do, right?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, he's still, as long as the hit checks out, and we have no reason to think it won't. I mean, he's just a guaranteed top 3, top 5 talent in the draft. Guys might have to deal up to get him.
I'm with you. All right, so today, a lot of people have to set their lineups. They have to make some moves, things like that. We are now getting closer now to the NBA trading deadline. So let's start talking about some of these guys that we need to plan ahead. Like last night, I made a move for Christian Wood. He was still available in my league, and I'm kind of, looking to what's going on in Detroit, and it looks like they're about to blow this thing up and try to get rid of some guys. And if they do and able to get rid of Blake or Drummond, Christian Wood is one of those guys. What do you think?
Oh, there's no question about it. In fact, his was the name that I was sort of saving for. At the end, if you ask me to give you just one guy who I think should be stashed almost everywhere, his Yahoo ownership percentage right now is still in the 20s. Christian Wood could help decide your league title, assuming he falls into serious minutes. I just want to read his per 36-minute production so far this season. This is per 36. He's not getting 36 minutes a game. He's only getting like 15, 16 minutes a night. He got 36 at his current rates. It would be 20.5 points per game, over a block and a half per game, almost 11 rebounds per game, almost a full steal per game, and he's knocking down threes at a 38% clip as well. So he's giving you more than a 3 per game. He's 6'10". He's just a natural substitute for, we got multiple things in play in Detroit. We have a probable Blake Griffin shutdown at some point. I mean, he barely plays as it is. At some point, they're just going to say it's a smart thing to do is not only tank, but if we're ever going to get anything out of this guy, like if he's going to have more seasons going forward that look a little bit like last year, the year before, we got to get him right. And we can't ask him to play through pain in a lost season. So we got a Blake Griffin shutdown that's likely. We have an Andre Drummond trade that's likely. Drummond, of course, is scoring 17 a game and getting almost 16 rebounds a game. So those are stats that have to go somewhere. Christian Wood is the strongest candidate for it. In my mind, he's the most obvious stash in our game. And again, somebody who could listen. He's not going to deliver like first round value as soon as he starts seeing 30 minutes a game. But it's going to be good. He's going to deliver like maybe round 3, round 4 value if he comes at all close to his per minute production. He's just been wonderful over multiple seasons for multiple teams on a per minute basis. It sure looks like he's finally going to come into serious playing time in the final 2 or 3 months of this season.
Andy, a guy I had to give up on, but maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I had some injuries, so I had to make some moves because this guy was he was good for me the first 2 years, especially last year. But this year they acquired Anthony Davis, and Kuzma was just not getting those opportunities, not enough to even be a starter for you overall. Now the Lakers are finally open to maybe seeking trade offers for Kuzma. Is this the time to buy low or grab Kuzma if somehow or another he's still available in your league? What do you do with Kyle Kuzma? Because we really don't know where he's going to land, but you would figure that wherever he does land, it ends up with playing time.
Well, there's no question that wherever he lands, the playing time is going to be there for him. I don't want to oversell him necessarily, because what we've seen from Kuzma so far, and you look at last year as an example, because he's never going to have as wide open a playing field as he had last year, and he can certainly score. Right, it was almost 19 a game last year. Shot a pretty good percentage from the floor. He's not shooting quite as well this year. Didn't shoot particularly well from three, but it's tolerable. But he was really threes and points. There's not a lot of defensive goodies here. He was only at about a half a steal a game and about a half a block per game. There's not a ton of assists here, just a little bit over 2 last year, I want to say. He's not even averaging an assist per game right now. And the rebounding totals are nothing special. So he's a guy that we're interested in for points and threes. I can't believe some of the rumors that have popped up today. I mean, just in the last hour or so, I'm seeing these. I believe it's Mark Stein that has this report about a possible deal to the Kings that would involve Bogdanovic on the other side, who is just flat out a better player and a more versatile player. And I think might be a year closer to restricted free agency, and I'm sure that's the deal because Kuzma is not making a ton of money right now. So I'm sure that's part of it, but Bogdanovic is just simply a much better player and would be an incredible get to the Lakers. Like that's just a clear and obvious upgrade, at least in the current season and certainly into next season. Kuzma is a guy who, the acquiring team has to really project something for him beyond what he's delivered to this point, because he's a good scorer. If you're in a points league, I'd be all about it, because I could easily see him landing with a team where he can average, 22, 23 points per game, especially if he falls to a team that plays at the right pace. That could be really exciting. But he's still really just a two-category guy. So in category leagues, I'm not as interested.
All right. Are you a Sekou Doumbouya fan?
It's hard not to be. That's an interesting name that you brought up. I just added him in the Yahoo Friends and Family League. He'd been just a wonderful developmental league player, and he's come right in and performed. These early games have been pretty good. He can hit threes, so you're going to get some help from distance. It's only been 2 games, but he's averaging double-digit points. He's averaging double-digit rebounds. And getting a steal and a half per game. It sure looks like he's going to be a guy who can block some shots. If he's really going to knock down like a couple threes a game, I'm plenty interested. We already talked about the fact that the Pistons have not only opportunity available right now, but they're going to have incredible opportunity available later in the season. That's the whole appeal to Christian Wood, right? Is that we know that Drummond probably goes away, and at some point Blake Griffin gets shut down, and Doumbouya is gonna benefit from the same scenario. So sure, if he sticks around and he keeps performing as he has in his first couple games, he's gonna be really good.
What do you tell folks about DeAnthony Melton?
Yeah, you've kind of found all the best stashes, because he's another one that I wouldn't quite put where Christian Wood is, but DeAnthony Melton has been a monster, not in exactly the same way that Wood has, but on a per minute basis, he's just been terrific. And he's kind of an across the board guy. Like he's going to pile up steals. He's going to have a bunch of double digit point games. That's also a team that is playing kind of sneaky fast too. So there's just a bunch of stats available there. I'm pretty interested in him. Not just as a guy who can score a little bit, but a guy who can get you rebounds, who can get you defensive goodies, who's not going to turn the ball over a ton, and is shooting a good percentage from the floor as well. I think over 50% from the floor right now. He's been really good. He's been one of the more obvious per minute, very positive stashes that there is in fantasy basketball, and he's also a guy who's available in about 80% of Yahoo leagues right now.
How about Jordan McRae? Where do you see him?
Yeah, if you haven't added him by now, I would say that in competitive leagues he's probably gone. I picked him up in one of I think it's the charity league that I play, and the scoring just keeps coming. Like the scoring is just clearly going to be there. And one of the fun things about the Wizards, I feel like we've been talking about them. We talk about a different Wizard almost every week. One of the fun things about that team is that they're top 5 in the NBA in pace. So they get up and down the floor. They've obviously, there's a ton of opportunity there with a bunch of players injured right now. And McCray, every second that he's on the floor is looking to get shots up. So, like, you don't always like that in real life, but we sure like it in fantasy. So I'm pretty excited about him. I think the points are definitely going to be there anytime the minutes are there. And I think he's really played his way into a nice situation. So, you know, if he told me that he was going to average something like 16 and 5 and 4 going forward, yeah, I would totally buy that. He's clearly impressed Scott Brooks. I think if he's still available in your league, your league is probably a little shallow.
Yes.
But he's definitely somebody of interest.
How about Jarrett Culver with the Timberwolves?
I wish I could convince myself that his shooting was going to be there. Like it's not. To my eye, it's not always a pretty shot. He's not, you know, he's also a guy who's going to come into a lot of potential shot attempts because that team pretty quickly, like especially if they don't get Towns back relatively soon, they're going to have to think about packing it in and you know playing for draft position essentially. I think he's a fun across the board player. So if you're in a points league, it's a little easier to take him, but it's also not going to surprise me if he averages like 37, 38% from the floor for the season. When you own him on a good shooting night, and I think he had a pretty good shooting night on Sunday, it feels a lot better because again, he's a guy who's going to routinely deliver 4 to 6 assists, 4 to 6 rebounds, and he can get himself to double-digit points, and he'll get you a steal or two. But again, I just worry about the shooting percentages. So a little bit better in points leagues than in categories for me.
Follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens, and you can catch his work there at Yahoo Fantasy. Andy, is there something I might have overlooked, a nugget you want to share with folks out there?
Yeah, another guy I'm pretty interested in is we've talked about him in prior weeks. Derek Jones Jr. has looked really good. Troy Brown has looked really, really good. And the final name we need to bring up is Maxi Kleber, who has just been sensational with Porzingis out. He's basically delivered like 90%.
So he's more of a streaming guy right now, right?
Yeah. So if Porzingis can't go tonight against Chicago, Kleber looks really good.
Okay, there you go. What are you guys doing on Yahoo Fantasy if folks want to get a little edge on their competition in a little basketball?
Yeah, we got the Fantasy Hoops podcast coming up this Thursday and every Thursday for the rest of the season. That's with my good friend Dalton Del Don. Dalton is also going to have a couple of fantasy clips that come out on Wednesday, one of which is a pickups video. So please check it out.
There you go. And on Twitter, you can follow him at Andy Behrens. Andy, you're an absolute stud, my brother. Thank you.
Thanks, Big O. Good luck, people.
You got it, baby. Be good. The great Andy Behrens, a little fantasy basketball. Where else are you going to get that? Huh? Not going to get anywhere locally. You're not going to be able to get a 4-hour show that talks about anything and everything going on. I have not given my picks in a couple days. I have not been prepared. Today, I'm going to give you some picks in the NBA. All right? Let's start off with the slate today. Orlando, the Magic, are home against Brooklyn. This will be quick. Right now, Orlando is favored by 5 against Brooklyn. It's hard for me to trust either one right now. I think Orlando's going to win this game. Brooklyn's a little banged up. Orlando's actually playing better basketball right now. I really want to lay the 5 points here, but instead, I'm going to go over 212 in this game. Between Orlando and Brooklyn. So over 212, Orlando, Brooklyn. Charlotte and Indiana, the Hornets are hosting the Pacers. The Pacers are favored by 5. The over and under is 208.5. I am not a Charlotte fan. They just don't play good enough defense. Indiana, on the other hand, Indiana is one of these teams that I just think they have one of the coaches of the year. Okay, they are overcoming the loss of their best player. They are developing other players like Sabonis, who's playing his ass off. I'm going to go Indiana -5 on the road versus Charlotte. All right, Boston favored by 8.5 against Washington. Washington is an absolutely terrible team. I got to take Boston -8.5 on the road in Washington. Oklahoma City. against Philadelphia. Sixers haven't been playing as well lately, but they don't play well on the road. They are home, but they're giving up 7 points. Oklahoma City's been kind of gritty. Not a great team, but they are gritty. I'm going to kind of stay away from this one. That's a lot of points for Philly. They should win. The 7 points might be a little too much. They get bored with themselves. Did you see Josh Richardson said it the other day? We just don't play hard every night. And he's kind of used to the culture he came from, so I think it kind of has set an impression on him. Denver is at Atlanta. The Nuggets are favored by 7.5 at Atlanta. The over and under is 222.5. There is no way I'm taking Atlanta. They are a terrible basketball team. John Collins is out. So I'm going to go Denver -7 here on the road. Why? Because Atlanta is just terrible, dude. They are. They're just a bad basketball team. I can't even say they're well coached, okay, at this point. So I'm going to take, 7.5, -7.5 for Denver at Atlanta. Utah is at New Orleans. Utah favored by 3 at the Pelicans. Fly, Pelican, fly. Utah's been a little up and down. I haven't been as impressed with Utah's consistency. I'm going to stay away from this game. The over and under is 221. That's a lot of points. I don't know if New Orleans can stay with it. Milwaukee is at San Antonio. Bucks are favored by 7 on the road in San Antonio. The over and under is 228. This is kind of one of these trap games because San Antonio sucks defensively, but they're home, and once in a while they'll give you a pretty decent – this team here is giving you a pretty decent effort at home sometimes. I can see them making it interesting and staying within the 7, but I'm going to stay away from this game. I'm not laying the 7. I'm not taking it. Stay away, Milwaukee, San Antonio. Chicago is at Dallas. Dallas favored by 9.5 points here. They're playing really good basketball. Chicago's terrible on the road. The over and under is 217. I'm actually going to take the over here in Chicago versus Dallas, and I'm going to go with the over 217 because I don't think either team is going to play really good defense here. So I like a lot of points here. Chicago's actually been scoring some points lately. Golden State, terrible basketball team at Sacramento. Sacramento's not great, but they're favored by 10.5 points. How am I going to do that? I don't have that kind of confidence in Sacramento. To lay 10.5 points? Rashawn Holmes and the boys are gonna beat them by 11. They could, because Golden State's really, really bad, but that's a game I'm staying away from. Over, Brooklyn, Orlando, 212. I'm going -5, Indiana versus Charlotte. I'm going Boston -8.5 at Washington. I'm taking Denver -7.5. And Denver, by the way, is visiting Atlanta. And I'm going with the over 217, Chicago and Dallas. Those are my selections today in the NBA. There you go. You like any of those? No?
You know where I stand.
You hate basketball, betting basketball. So you can't.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, it's about betting, man. It's
no, I know that. I know it's.
You're going to steal your money, but it's just like walking.
But you don't like any of them? You're not putting any money. I am.
Just hand them the money.
You don't like any of them?
Thank you.
You don't like any of them? No? Okay.
Not really, no.
All right.
They're too good with that.
Okay. We're going to make a big charge tonight. We're going to have a big night tonight in the NBA. Okay? And remember to like our broadcast there while you're watching. Appreciate it. Pass it on. Share the link to folks. Have them subscribe. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers ASAP so we can give you better live coverage. We're going to need it in the next week and a half here. Next week, actually. Yeah, can we get to the 220 that we need left in less than 6 days? Come on, let's do it. We got to have it before the East-West Shrine. So spread the word. All right? Anyway, remember you can get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, the other way to reach out to us is on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there. As always, We got to thank several folks, as always, Bill and John Cassio. Excellent work by them, always helping us out. Many people to put all of this together every single day. So we thank you for downloading. We thank you for supporting. We thank you, by the way, more importantly, also for our sponsors that help us put it all together and make sure you support our sponsors. Tell them that we sent you. All of this helps, folks, so we can grow more and more. I've got some more plans that we can expand, so let's rock it. We can only do it together, baby, and we can give you the kind of sports talk that you want every single day coming out of South Florida. Be good out there. We love you for supporting us. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
Have a good one, guys.